But anyway, hi next everyone. I'm really excited about the new Portal TAS that came out. It's been 10 years since the last Portal TAS has come out. So the one here on the left is the one that came out in 2016, which I was actually involved in. I did routing for this as well, which is like super cool. But 10 years later, we have a brand new TAS that is done in 4 minutes and 33 seconds. It's so cool, and I'm just going to talk about it for like ages, okay? I want to actually compare it to the old one from 10 years ago. I want to say where the improvements are, but then just like why it's really cool and explain everything that's like in the run, because I think it's really nice, right? Now, the thing is, there's a 40-second time save in this TAS compared to the last one, right? Which is absolutely insane when you think that like nearly every single level just looks like this, right? So like this is like one level. Like if we just started from the beginning here, that's it. It's done. Okay. So the levels are really short. So it begs the question, like, how do you save 40 seconds? And that's like pretty much what I'm going to go through, right? The people that worked on this was Ch09 and Evanlyn. They are the geniuses behind this. Okay. It was basically just these two that did like all the scripts for this. Okay. Really cool. Okay. And then what gives, right? So there's 40 seconds of time difference. I'm going to do a little bit of preamble and then we'll just like jump into it. But the main differences here is that the one on the left was done on build 5135. No one calls it that. We just call it 5135 or 5135, right? It's how many days since Half-Life 1 had come out, okay? And so the one on the right is actually on an older build. It was done after 3,420 days after Half-Life 1 came out. Okay, so it's an older build. And the reason that we might want to use the older build is because there's different glitches. So the one on the left has no free out of bounds movement. You get out of the map, you're stuck with like caveats. There are ways to move, but for the most part, you don't get it for free. Okay, you actually got to like work for it. Whereas the one on the right, you have free out of bounds movement. So if you ever get oob for whatever reason, you can continue walking as if you're inside the map. There's other differences as well. The left side has radios in pretty much every single map, where the right side doesn't. And the main difference for this is that Portal 1 did an ARG at some point to hype up Portal 2. And when they did that, they put a bunch of radios in the maps, and we actually use that for the speedrun. Also, hey Andrew, what's up? So basically, different engines have like different differences, right? There's many things we can list, but these are the main ones that you need to be worried about, okay? There's just different glitches. We're not going to talk about all the glitches because a lot of them are just not relevant, okay? But there are some new glitches in the new TAS, and that's why we want to use the old build, okay? Sweet. Yeah, and so this run was released in 2016, and the other one was released in 2026. One thing is we didn't understand ISG. We didn't understand item save glitch. Now, the thing with Portal is there's so many glitches that there needs to be some preamble before we get into it. I'm just going to show you two glitches. The first one being item save glitch, okay? Because you need to understand it for the new run. So this here is what item save glitch looks like. So this is the way we typically understood it back in the past, right? So if you put an entity next to a portal and then interact other entities with each other, the physics in the game basically breaks. And then a lot of weird stuff will happen. This is item save glitch. We call it ISG. It's a really old glitch. This is a video from Ch00 Sens, who is an Australian runner from back like 2007, 2008. And he literally typed this like, WTF is going on? We didn't get how it worked. We've known about it for a long time, but it basically happened randomly. We had like no idea why it happened. It basically just breaks the game, okay? This is an ISG thing. This is Uncrafted's showcase of what happens when you have ISG. All of these like dots here are items that are in the map. If you load into the game with ISG, all the items will just fall out of bounds, and they just will not interact with the walls, okay? So it's a very bad state to be in. It will last until you close the game. There's other weird things with ISG as well. So if you have ISG, you can kind of clip through ceilings like this. This isn't a normal thing, and it's because ISG just breaks the physics again. That is like the thing, okay? Also, that is basically all the stuff that we had there. Back in 2016, we didn't really get it, so we didn't run with it. We just did not do routing with it at all. But now that it's been 10 years, we understand it a lot better, and we have better setup. So you can do it with like one item, a portal, and yourself, and you can also break the game. There's many, many ways to break the game. So that is one thing. There's also some other new glitches that have been found, but let's actually just watch the run now, and we're going to talk about it. Oh god, okay. So this is the start of it, okay? So how do you beat Portal? Okay, timing starts when you wake up and you see the crosshair, and then it ends when you beat GLaDOS. So this is the first chamber. There's 18 chambers, okay? And the goal for every chamber is just to get to the end elevator. And the map is already done. So I'm going to be going in game to like show you what's happening, okay? But we're already under the elevator. So how did this actually happen? Let me rewind. This is using item save glitch, okay? So right here, there's a new way to get item save glitch. And with that, we bring the radio through the walls with us to get it under the elevator here. But there's also like 2 other things going on here at the same time that is making this work, okay? And so I'm going to go into the game and actually just show you what that is. Okay, so this is the old build here. This doesn't work in the new build, like at all. Oh my god, why do I have TAS? Oh my god, okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. All right, so this is what I want to show you. So in the options here, if you go to mouse, there's a sensitivity slider here, okay? Classic. And so we have this thing where you're allowed to change any of these settings for speedruns, but you can also bind that to buttons through the console. Now, if you slide this all the way up here, it only goes to 20, but the hilarious thing here is if you just type in 60 and then hit apply, it just works. You now have 60 sensitivity, and then it kind of looks like this. So you can just keep increasing this, or you could just put like a bunch of 9s. So you can just do this, all right, hit apply, okay, and then when you move the mouse, the game breaks, okay? And so let me show you this up here. It sets your angle to effectively infinity, or nan, okay? There's 2 different types, but for all intents and purposes, it's essentially not a number, okay? This by itself is not useful, but this is the new sort of quirk that we noticed last year that led to a bunch of new discoveries. It's essentially, if you can break your angle, you can break a lot of things, and it only works on like some older builds. If we run it on the one that the old TAS had, it will crash the game, or it just doesn't work. There's a lot of like conditionals there. So anyway, let me reset my sensitivity, and then let me just like disconnect and then like go back in. Okay, cool. So yeah, that just breaks. Now there's another command called +strafe. You can just bind this to like any key. Let me see if I do like bind Y. Oh, yeah, bind Y +strafe. And what this lets you do is if you're holding down that key and then you move your mouse, you'll do in-game movement with your mouse movement. So I'm not doing WASD, I'm just moving the mouse and then it moves me. The funny thing about this is based on your sensitivity. So if you put this up to 6 and then I do +strafe again, you can see I move a lot faster than if I have this like on like 0.2. Right? You can do like very, very fine movements on this, but it just takes whatever your sensitivity is and then applies it to your movement. So if you do it with a really, really large sensitivity that's not a number, and then move with +strafe, that can also break the game. So I can show this here. If I jump off and then do +strafe with Inf Sens, I'm not falling right now. This just completely breaks stuff, okay? It's pretty bad. It's basically because it puts your angle into your movement and it's trying to move you, but it doesn't know how to move you in infinite like direction. A lot of this isn't understood, but you can float in midair with this. If you touch props, you'll give props like infinite speed as well, and you can break stuff like that. And then also, if you're standing next to a portal and then you do this, you'll get warped to the origin. So if I'm standing on the orange side, the origin's right here, I'll get teleported there. If you do it on blue side, you get teleported to the origin, but wherever your blue portal is, on the same like Z height. So if my blue portal's at this height, origin's over there, I'm going to teleport there. which is really, really neat, okay? There's a lot that like goes into this. So that is the two things that have basically been added to this run that makes like a lot of things work. And I know that's a lot of preamble, but like, it's like very, very important. So the cool thing about this, I know how to like do this by hand, but it's very like error prone. So this is a PB by Winonicus, and it's using these glitches, okay? So here, you pick up the radio, you put it down, and then you want to stand on it in such a way where you're doing the infinite strafing. So it's infinite sense. So you're making an angle nan, you're passing it to plus strafe. That breaks your movement, okay? But if you do it on the radio like this, and the radio gets infinite movement, the engine just crashes. So there's two things going on here, okay? This isn't widely understood, but we have Quake physics, and then we also have a different physics system. And it's just breaking one of those physics systems, okay? There's two systems going on there. So you got Havoc and you got Quake. They're used for different collisions. If we go back here, before it like crashed, okay. You can also see that the radio went upright immediately. If that happens, you also get stuck. So it's very, very fickle, this sort of thing. And there's still like a lot of research going into it. It was found last year, okay? But when it's done properly, what you want to do is you want to stand on top of the item. You want to Inf Sense without giving it velocity, okay? This will break your physics. So your physics is broken now, okay? If the object touches you, you will get teleported. So you need to be really careful about that. And the teleports are very, very different. There's a whole document on it. We're not going to get into it. But right now, things are actually broken. Also, hey, Ch00, it's me forever. Dude, here's the thing, right? If you make any item touch an item that's asleep, so it means it hasn't moved. So there, that activates ISG. So ISG is now activated. So it's a new method to do it without portals, which is really cool. And it basically comes down to breaking the physics system. So we used to be able to break the physics system like this using a portal, but this isn't useful because well, it's not useful at the beginning of an out of bounds run because you don't get the portal gun until 02. You couldn't do it. There are ways to do it a little bit earlier, but by then you're already wasting time. So basically we've found a way to get ISG immediately, okay? By doing all that like physics stuff. That's the idea there. So if we go back, this will explain like what's going on here, okay? I know that's like so much detail. There's a big info dump, but here's the reason why, okay? You want to think about Portal as having 3 phases. The first phase is that you just don't have the portal gun for chamber 0001. Okay, so you have to use these very intricate glitches. Once we get the portal gun in 02, which is the next map, it's 02 to 11, where we do all the blue portal gun tricks. So that's like second phase. And then the third phase is like, we have the orange portal gun, and then we just do a different set of glitches. So this first phase is just really, really info heavy. But yeah, you grab the radio, you do the Inf Sense stuff here, all right? And then if you get an item to touch another item, and then reload, you'll get ISG, right? So this is really hard to see because it's literally just 1 frame. Let me see if I can find the frame. Okay, there it is, there it is. So here you get Inf Sense, the physics engine's breaking, you turn around and you grab the cup, you make it hit the clipboard. Right now ISG's activated. The reason you do a reload here is if you don't, the engine can crash. Okay, you don't want the engine to crash because of the broken physics, but we do want the broken state of ISG. So this is a reload now. The physics are no longer broken, but we have ISG. So this part over here, right, is just getting stuck in a corner. There's a bunch of save loads that happen here that make you gain velocity. And then you start up warping here into the elevator. And because item save glitch is activated, that can go through the wall. And that's chamber 00. I'm going to show you another angle because it's very, very interesting. So portal origin per room will determined by position somehow. It's per map. The origin just keeps changing. I'll show you where it is every single time. And so that's the end of that. And then we get into 02. So I want to show you some other stuff. Wrong portal. Okay, we've got to do this portal. Okay. So if we do play 00. This is what These demos look like hi Pringle. So there's a lot going on here, but everything we just watched, this is a 3D view of it, okay? So we can just watch this, and then this will just show everything that we saw in the video, but like from, you know, like a different perspective, which is very nice. It's way easier to see. So every single circle here is a save load, okay? So you can see there's a bunch of save loads here to like gain velocity. When they're save loading down here, they're gaining 200 velocity, they redirect it, and then that makes them go back up. So yeah, this is the part where they get ISG. ISG's got them. You go all the way down, you go up with all that redirected velocity. And then here, this requires a save load to go through here. And you know what's like very interesting about this is I actually tried this back in 2014. I tried this. This is very old. So I did the original routing for volt skip here. And you can see I got very, very close to getting underneath the elevator here. The issue is, also that's Mikkel. Hi, Mikkel. The issue with this is you can't save load up through a wall. It just like doesn't work. And I didn't know that back then. And I actually did this twice. Here's another one. We're not about explaining this trick, but the idea is that the lamp is wedged between you and the wall. The lamp will push you through. And what I was attempting to do was the second I'm oob, I preserve that speed and you just keep save loading, going upwards with the idea to get through that elevator. Now, the thing is that doesn't work, but it's based on the idea of, let me go in this game and then like show you. So there's ways of getting back inbounds. This is the one method I want to talk about. If you're here, you save load like this, it's going to bring you down. Okay. And then you can enter that way. Going upwards doesn't work unless you have ISG. So they have ISG here, which actually makes this work. so it's multi-purpose. Okay. So this chamber has so much going on, and that's why I really, really wanted to yap about it. But it's just like the precursor for like everything that's going to happen. Okay. So the ISG makes this up warp happen. Right? There's the save load before you contact this, so you get through, and you need the radio here. Okay? And then with this, there's the ending elevator. So let me just explain what the goal is going to be for like every single chamber in case you don't know how portal running works. Here, this is chamber 00. Okay? And then you'll take the elevator up, and then this is chamber 01. Every single elevator in game, most of them, take 14 seconds to get to the top. There's no way to speed up the elevators. Okay. So once you hit the elevator and you activate it, that's like it. You're like gaming. Okay. So you want to do that as quick as possible. So that's why we skip this one, because you just get like a free 14-second time save. And if you look here, like you spawn here and then we immediately go here and then we activate the end. So this part here is just waiting now. We're just waiting for like the end of the map. Cool. And then SPT trace. Let me see if I remember the command. Import, then this one. Okay, cool. So this is going to be the next map. So if you have a look here, I'm trying to like fast forward it. This is the elevator moving here. It's going to get to the top of the map. And once it gets to the top of the map, that's like when the next map transitions. And then we do stuff there. But before we look at Ch02, I want to show you some comparisons. Okay. So this here is the comparison between the 2016 TAS and the 2026 TAS. Hey, Razorlegs, what's up? So the 2026 TAS is in blue, and then the red one is the 2016 TAS. So hopefully you can see here what it looks like in real time, right? So like you grab the radio, you wedge yourself in the corner, and then you just like up yourself, and then you hit the elevator. And compared to the old TAS, it gets to the elevator first. All we're doing is racing for the elevator here, okay? Now, you're not really seeing where the other TAS is going, but it's going like up, okay? So I have a different view for this. This is what... Oh, please play. Come on, VLC. Same colors, so blue's the new TAS, orange is the old TAS. The old TAS has to go all the way up there. Now, if you remember, old TAS doesn't have free out of bounds movement. So the only way to move out of bounds is by making a save load every single tick. So every single tick they're out of bounds here, they've got a save load, save load, save load. They'll move you upwards. And then once you've stopped moving upwards, you can just stop for a bit and then save load to get back down. That angle obviously takes a a lot of time, right? Because it's not a direct angle right into the elevator. And so that's why this new TAS is actually just like faster as well. The thing is the old TAS actually gets out of bounds quicker. So like maybe there's like room for improvement there, but there is like that whole like ISG setup. This is just like something to play around with. But yeah, that's the very first one. Oh yeah, it's so sick. It's so sick. Is this an SPT or did you make it? That's uncrafted Trace stuff. It's really neat. You can thank uncrafted for that. Okay, let's talk about the next chamber. Let's play the video first, and then we'll do other stuff. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. Okay, so Ch02. Did you see the route that Haya found that I TASed but couldn't get to work in time? No, I wasn't going to talk about new routes. Because I will say right now, when I watched this run, I went to bed, I woke up, and I was like, oh, I think I know how to save 5 seconds in this run. So it might be the route I'm thinking of. I don't know. But I didn't want to say it because like you guys were rendering and stuff and I didn't want to call pandemonium. Anyway, we're just going to focus what's on here for now. Okay, so next map. This has to do with the portal warping tech again. So let me show you. Let me give you names for this stuff. So when you're next to a portal and you get warped to the origin, we call this a singularity warp. Okay, so it's a swarp for short. There's 2 types. So there's the one where you do this, and then there's the one where you do this, right? But there's also the one, and I'm kind of scared to do it, but you can drop the item on your head like this when your physics is broken. I would have to do more setup. And that's what they're doing here. Okay. Oh, I need to go back. Yeah, here. So we're under the elevator with the radio. But the thing is you'll just be stuck in the elevator shaft. But if you get the radio to hit you while you're crouching, it also does a singularity warp. And it just turns out, this is so cool, just turns out the origin's here. This is where it is. It's so unbelievably cool. Which is also just like so lucky. Because like if we take a look at the map here, there is a big cutscene here. You have to activate this trigger here, and then GLaDOS will talk to you for like 18 seconds before opening this door. Okay? So like there's not really anything you can do to speed this up. And so the old TAS had to stand here and wait for this. But because the origin's just there and we want to go there anyway, it just is super convenient. And then, yeah, you have the radio. The radio gets thrown up to this spot here. If I like forward frames, the radio is like below us. Okay, can't even see it. But yeah, I'll just play this out and then we'll talk about it. So yeah, you do the swap, get the portal gun. This is out of bounds. The elevator's triggered, so now you have 14 seconds of setup, and then we'll talk about all this. Okay, this is setup, and then you can see the elevator's there, and then we're about to get into 04, so that's 04 there. All right, let me show you what's going on, because this is so cool. This is so cool. Like, when I first saw this, I was like, no way, no way, this is what it is. Okay, so let me do this. All right, so we're under the elevator here with the radio, okay? You get the radio to touch you, and then that teleports you. Now, one thing I couldn't believe when I first saw this, right? I'm currently rendering this in the 5135 build, kind of, post 5135. If you look over here, there's a radio there, okay? But we're running on a version without radios. There's no radio in this version. So like when I like first watched this, I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, you know, you use the radio to like warp you here. Oh, sorry, let me mute this. Oh my God. Sorry, first time using MPV. Rewinding and it's better. Yeah, so it's like you get the radio. And then I was like, oh cool, they got the radio on the windowsill. But they didn't. They didn't get the radio from the windowsill. Because it's not there. It's never been there. You can kind of see this under my camera here. No radio there. Okay, so the biggest question I had was, how did they get this? I was just like, I was boggled, right? But the thing is they still have item save glitch from like the last map. So when you swap here, you also grab the radio, and the radio's gonna fly to you with that trajectory through out of bounds. It just takes this path. It's crazy, man. It's so cool. So this is the chamber 00 radio preserved here. And the thing is you have item save glitch for as long as the game's open. So here is like a save reload to turn off ISG. So with save reload, ISG is now off. All the entities are going to behave exactly how we expect. Okay. Radio gets thrown up here next to the portal because like we need that later. And then movement into the portal. And then this is doing a bunch of stuff to complete the map. Okay. So if you haven't seen Portal speedrunning before, I need to just cover some like really quick basics for you. So the first thing is movement. Okay, so this is what movement looks like. Going backwards is just faster. Okay, that's just how it works. It's really neat. Okay, we're moving. So on the left there, these are walking speeds. Surprise, surprise. If you walk forward, then you walk backwards. It's the same speed. Okay. If you're jumping, you go slightly faster. So the two on the left are going 150 velocity. The one on the right is going 225 if you just do normal jumping. But the thing is if you just start jumping backwards, you'll go really, really fast. It has to do with a bug for them trying to slow you down. And as they try to slow you down, they just keep adding to your backward speed. So literally everything that you're going to see movement-wise takes advantage of this, okay? So that's how ch09 looks like. Every single runner does this. And there is like some skill to trying to go fast, okay? If you look here are all the velocity numbers for each player. It really depends on how much you're moving. If you're moving quicker, you're just going to go quicker. So yeah, that's movement, okay? Now I need to talk about portal mechanics. We're only going to have the blue portal gun up until chamber 11. So there's some really, really simple stuff that gets used over and over again. If you're here on your blue portal, you can't shoot through portals. But the thing is sometimes, right, you might want to portal over here. But the annoying thing is if you walk through orange, you place your blue, you have to be on the orange side to then walk through to get to here. So if I want to go anywhere from blue, you're always going to be near orange. But that's kind of inconvenient because like from this point of view, I can see this angle. So what if I want to go there, but like I can't see that from the orange point of view. So every single time you shoot a portal, there's like a delay, right? And this delay you can take advantage of. So while the portal's traveling, you just shoot and then you step through your old portal and then it goes here. So we call this peak portal. This is going to be used everywhere because it just makes getting certain angles really, really simple. So you basically stand on the blue side, you shoot blue as you walk through the old blue because the old blue doesn't close, right? So that's really useful. Because it's an any percent speed run as well, we're going to go out of bounds. So I got to show you how we get back in bounds. There's millions of ways to get back in bounds, okay? But they all rely on the same concept, okay? So you're out of bounds, you want to get back into the map. The player has like this box around it. Basically, if any of the corners of the box are inbounds, so if you look at this here, this is currently inbounds. If the portal disappears here, while a corner is peeking inbounds, you'll get brought inbounds. That's how it works. There's a lot of situations where this can be used. So here, the map is kind of diagonal. If you look here, the corner is inbounds. So while you're standing in a portal, if you shoot a portal away and then you corner, any of the corners are inbounds, it's just going to nudge you in bounds. The game always wants to bring you inbounds. It's always doing the corner check. If you look here, if I just walk through orange and then I fall out of the portal on the underside of the map, you're going to get stuck. But notice, for a brief moment, this corner is peeking inbounds as you're going through the portal. But the thing is if you don't get rid of the portal, you're just going to be like out of bounds, right? But if you want to re-enter, you can just do that peeking technique that we were talking about earlier. So peeking's also used to get back in bounds. So notice that blue is here. I'm going to shoot blue away so it lands as I'm exiting this portal. So you shoot blue as you walk through orange. So blue gets shot here. Your corner's inbounds. Blue lands somewhere else during that, and then it'll bring you back in the map. So those are all the re-entry methods, okay? It's actually important that you know Cool. All right. Let me go back to the TAS now. I know that's like so much preamble, but there's so much going on. Okay. So this is movement. This is the ABH, right? The portal doesn't open for 5.2 seconds when the map loads. So this is just waiting. So the portal opens, they time the movement here, and then they look at the corner of the map here, and then this is the seam shot. Turns out you can shoot through corners of walls, or you can shoot through any gaps where there's complex brushes. I'll show that in a moment. So the portal lands out of bounds through that wall. And then here, this is a Pika portal on the outside of the map. So you shoot blue, and then the end elevator's here. So then you shoot blue again under the end elevator with the Pika portal. And then you're doing a PQR here. So that's that like out of bounds re-entry. We call it a portal quick re-entry, right? It's basically making it so one of your corners is in the map during that. If you haven't seen seam shots, there's this really good video made by Crazy How and Mlog that explains it. It basically has to do with raycasting. So they wanted to see whenever a portal collides with like a wall or something, they do a raycast. But when they do this raycast, they extrude the wall that you're looking at. Okay, so around this wall will be like a slight bubble. I'm wondering when they'll show it. I don't know if I skipped to it. Let me see. Yeah. So there's this bubble here. Okay, and here's the math for it, right? The thing is they actually got this math formula wrong. They intended for it to extrude on every single side, but the back sides don't extrude. They actually shrink. So this part shrinks here, which actually makes a gap here. And that's the gap that we're taking advantage of. So you can see there's this like little gap here. And so when you have like two corners like this, because the shrinkage is happening instead of getting bigger, if you're standing at the right angle, you can actually just shoot through that, which is so unbelievably convenient for us. So let me go back in game here. So that's like what's happening over here. They shoot through this corner, like here. Let me see if I can like rewind it a bunch. Okay, yeah, so where is the player? Yeah, so this was the part where we got the radio, through the radio up here, do movement, go through this portal here. That takes you out here. This is the seam shot, and the portal's gonna land here. So it just goes through this little gap here. And then you got the peak. This peak goes here. This peak goes under the elevator. You trigger it. Now you have 14 seconds to set up, which is like so sick. Okay. So basically, there's a whole box here. You can kind of see it outlined. As long as you're inside this box before the elevator reaches the top, the next level will load. Any items that you have within this area will also get brought over. And that's because they built this on top of the Half-Life 2 sort of resources. So in Half-Life 2, you could just bring objects from map to map. And it's the same here. As long as you're just in this area, you can just bring anything with you, which is nice. So a lot of these maps are just going to say like, hey, what do we need to make the next map quicker? And so in this case, we actually want the radio. Now, right now, portal's here. They're going to duck next to the portal and save load. And that gives us save glitch. So now I got to explain save glitch. Save glitch is rather crazy. It will come up like every now and then. The classic save glitch setup has to do with like this setup over here. So if you walk over the top of a portal like this, and then you save load, and then you walk to the side, you will lose collision with the world. Okay, and so I lost collision here. Now the reason for this, intuitively, okay, has to do with a problem that the developers were trying to solve. Okay, so when you walk through blue, it's going to take you out of orange like this, and same going the other way. But if you think about like how this like works in code, you just take whatever coordinates are here, and then the second you touch the portal, it just will teleport you instantly to the other side. And then they do some like tweening between it. Now the issue is like, this works like really, really well, but there's a wall here and the collision is still active, like at all times. Like physics just didn't stop. So what they did to get rid of the wall so that you could actually walk into it is they just cull all the geometry. So let me see if I can like actually show you this. So every single portal, I should have checked this beforehand. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see this? And then if we do a SPT cam control, yeah, this has like a little box here. So we call this like the portal environment, okay? If you're inside this box here, they disable geometry here. So everything that's like where the portal is just like doesn't exist now. And so that like you can walk through here, they literally just carve the hole out in the wall. Physics stops existing here, which is like a very clever way of like doing that, okay? Now, the problem with save glitch is if you're inside this box, it's going to disable geometry with walls. But if you can somehow escape this box without the game knowing, well, then you just still don't have collision with stuff. And so saving and loading is how we take advantage of that. So let me get off of this. So that is what's happening over here. You're on the top edge of this. So it thinks like you're inside that box. And then when you save load and you walk out, it still thinks you're in the box right now. And then you don't have collision. Now there's a million ways to get save glitch. The one that they're doing here is like the same sort of idea. If you imagine this, there's a box here that like extrudes, okay? Now let me sort of go from like this side here. So there's a box like extending like here, okay? Oh my god, guys, I did math at uni. I know how to draw boxes. Right, so there's a box here, and when you're standing, you're like already in it. But if you just crouch, and while you're crouching, you save load, you'll like escape the box, but it still thinks you're in it. So then, yeah, they have save glitch here, okay? You can move the portal away when you do this, and then you can walk through the wall here. Cool. While this is happening, there is this radio setup against the portal here in such a way that will be used later. You can see there's like duplicates of radios here. This has to do with two portals being here. Don't worry about it. There's only one radio, but yeah, cool. And then they're getting back to the end of the level again. This here is a vertical wrong warp. If you're inside a portal and then you crouch while you're at the bottom of it, and then you save load, it'll warp you to the top of the portal. Yeah, this is a very, very old trick. And then they walk on top of the geometry here, and then this is just save loading to get the game to bring you down, back in bounds. And then this is just waiting. A lot of this is waiting here. Oh, cool. I gotta load the next map. Yeah, and then there's a setup here for the radio. So that is Ch02 in a nutshell. Okay, so we grab the radio. When the elevator's moving up, you can get it to clip inside of you. When it's clipping inside of you like this gives you a lot of speed. And then Ch04 starts now. Cool. And then they flew across the map, and then a bunch is happening. So we're finally on the next map. This is barely a minute in. But the map is already like effectively over. There's like a big cap on this that I'll show. But yeah, under the elevator, Glados is talking here, but once she finishes talking, the elevator will move. And then it's a very, very similar setup. So let me show you what's going on here, because this is really neat. Sorry, I realized I hadn't been looking at chat. Oh, what is it? Trace 04. Okay, cool. And then let me do this. So yeah, you can see the elevator is moving from like the previous level. They're doing like the whole like setup here. And then this is like what's actually going on there, which is quite neat. Oh, I actually have a comparison for Ch02 before we start talking about Ch04. So why is Ch02 really, really fast? Well, if you have a look at this, there's that like Singularity warp there. The amusing thing about this compared to the old TAS is that the new TAS basically finishes all of the setup before the old one even starts. So that's like where the elevator is. And then this is where this next launch happens. So right now, this launch is happening in this game. So that's like them doing the setup here. And the whole reason for like getting yourself into the elevator and stuff is so that they can fly across the map out of bounds to hit this trigger here. And I'll explain what that trigger's for. But once they've done like all that setup, the old TAS can finally play. The doors are only just open now. So they beat the level well before the old TAS even gets to pick up the portal gun. And then they pick up the portal gun, and then a lot of this is very, very similar routing. It's you get under the elevator, you do a lot of the peaks, you do the same shot, and then you'll set up on top of here, and then you'll play the rest of the map from here. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I was curious what this would look like if we normalized it. So this saved 18 seconds over the old TAS. But what if they both started at the same point? And the way I synced it up was when they both walk through the portal after they pick up the portal gun. And it actually looks like this, okay? So you can see both of them go through the wall here, and then they both get under the elevator. And then there's a lot of setup going on here to bring, you know, the item of choice. So the new TAS brings the radio, and then you can actually see here, the old TAS actually finishes earlier. So the orange one disappears before the blue one does. That's because they've done like a launch here with the camera. But this one here hasn't finished yet. This might seem like a mistake, but there's a very good reason for it. So how this level works is this elevator will not move until you touch a trigger that is here. So you need to enter this box here. Glados will tell you a bunch of story, and then once the story's over, you can enter the elevator and the elevator will move, and then this elevator will take 7 seconds. It's one of the 2 elevators in the game that like acts differently. So you want to get here as quick as possible. Now, a thing is you can't actually overlap dialogues. If one dialogue plays and then another one plays, they just play in sequence. So let me see if I can like show you this here. So let me do like a volume like 2. So if you have a listen here, what we need to do is you need to hit this
as part of a required test
right
protocol,
and then she'll say like as part of a required test protocol, blah blah blah. But the thing is, there's a different dialogue here, and then if you hit this one,
you're doing quite well. As part of a required
it's going to queue it up. Okay, so there's some time wasted with the entrance dialogue essentially, and that is like this trigger right here. Now the reason we always hit this trigger was this is the one that's responsible for opening up this portal right here. Okay, so we kind of had like no choice to do this, and then the old TAS would do a seam shot here to shoot directly there, and then when they shoot directly there, they walk through here. Turns out you can just skip all that by doing this launch setup here. So that's what we saw here. Okay. And then there's a little trick there called crouch toggling. I'll explain that in a second. Now, the really cool thing about this part here, if we just like restart the map, at the beginning here, you can't see it, but this radio's oob. They actually throw the radio out of bounds with the whole idea of redirecting the speed. Because currently their speed's like going this way, but they want to fly to go this way. So by throwing this and then making like this little ledge here, you can see that they just like surf off of this and then they go this way. Now, the thing is, for this radio to go through this wall, you need ISG. So they actually activated it earlier. It happened very, very briefly. I actually missed this. I was like, how did they do this? I had like no idea that this was like a thing that like even happened. This is the wrong map. So yeah, let's go back to here. Now it's very, very easy to miss this. Okay. So they're set up here. Okay. but they're going to reload a save here. This is a save reload, and this is 28 ticks. Now, 1 tick in Portal is 0.015 seconds. It's 200 divided by 3 FPS. It's kind of like 66.6666 for Peter FPS, right? But this is a 28 tick setup, so it's almost half a second. So this happens for half a second, and now they have ISG, okay? And so ISG is enabled here. This is what lets the radio go through the elevator and this wall. This chuck here happens that redirects them, and then they also trigger this here. It's so unbelievably cool. So that reload is why there was time wasted on this. So when I normalized this, I was fully expecting the new TAS to be quicker here. But it actually isn't because of that ISG setup. But we save time on the next map from that. So if you see here, blue's actually just going to pause there. And that's the reload for 28 ticks. And then it continues. And then, you know, the old TAS is already on its way. So that's what's happening there. It's so interesting, right? Now, what was the ISG setup? We're going to go back to here. So this is the previous map, okay? While we're solving all of this here, during the save glitch setup, they were also moving the radio. So here, this is putting the radio next to the portal in such a way that when they're standing here, they touch the radio and the player together, which is two entities colliding, and that breaks the physics system. I don't know how precise that is. Lacune probably knows, but this is a pretty wild setup. But the save would have happened here. And so this is a save that they're just going to reuse. And this basically just comes back from the fact of what I showed here. This was the old setup that we had, right? That required 2 separate items. But now that we just understand more about the game, this was like a setup. I don't know if Uncrafted found this, but Uncrafted first showed me this back in like, I want to say 2022, 2023 or something. But yeah, you put the cube next to the portal and then you interact with it yourself. And then this gives you ISG. So it's the same thing, different method. There's so many different methods, but that's what's happening with the radio here. It's so unbelievably cool. Okay. So just remember that. And then, yeah, that's what's happening up here. You do the whole setup there, and then we are good. And then this goes into, sorry, I have like so many aliases. Yeah, and then, you know, that's the ISG load there. We get this. Now we're going to talk about this. This is something I tried back in 2020 and could not get it to work. I asked in the Portal Discord, hey, does anyone know how to do up clipping? Is this like a thing we can do? No one knew. So I had a sense that this was the route that was going to be. The thing that actually cracked this open is a mechanic that was found in Portal 2, and a lot of the Source games actually share glitches. So this has to do with hitboxes. I don't know who found this. Was it Crazy How? This is a Crazy How video. The point here is, if you look here, when you crouch on the ground, you can see where the bottom of the box is. Okay, it's like there. But if you're in midair and then you crouch, your crouching hitbox is higher. And this has to do with them trying to do scaling for like centering your box. But for that brief moment that like you're raised a little bit higher, you can actually undock and then hit triggers that you're not meant to be able to hit. And that's just because they've nudged you up a little bit. So yeah, first player moves 18 units up, and then it's going to duck you. And then the collision box is scaled around its bottom as it is done for the ground and crouching. This gives the illusion of scaling it around the center. And then I want to like speed this up, but I don't have the control. Now it's convenient for us because the game detects the state between these two actions, being that for a moment the collision box extends 18 units higher than it's supposed to. That's the key region here. Okay. So that's all that's happening here. There's that trigger in here that like we need to hit. And then if you can hit that, then you're good. And the good thing is we have free out of bounds movement. We're in midair. So you just crouch, and here you can see a bunch of crouching that's happening. But then the crouch here happens, you touch this, and then the dialogue goes off. So if you listen like really carefully, I'll put the audio back on for this. You can hear this actually activates that yapping.
The device, however, has not. Do not touch the operation as part of.
So you can hear the Glados dialogue goes off like pretty much like straight away, which is unbelievably cool. Now, there's two other subtleties going on here that I'll talk about real quick. If you're crouching while moving out of bounds, you go quicker. So that's cool. So keep that in mind. I didn't know I had that in mind. So yeah, also there's a save load here. If you save load while you're out of bounds, void clip happens. It's going to nudge you down a little bit. So that's like a height control thing. So if you just do save loads, you'll lose a bit of height. So that in combination, you can get like the right amount of height here to then hit this. And now we're just playing 04. So I don't know what to say here. A lot of these chambers are like very interlinked. You gotta think about it as like goal 1 is hit the end elevator. Goal 2 is set up for the next chamber. And these two goals are normally overlapped at the same time. So I'm just gonna go back to 02, right? So 02's done, you have 14 seconds to set up here. So you might as well set up ISG. We need the ISG save for later, but we also need the radio. Now we get ISG, so we lose the collision with the radio. There's a crouch triggering there. This level is capped. The level will not, the next level will not load until GLaDOS is done talking. Go through the portal here. This confused me so much when I first saw it. I was like, how do they get out of bounds again? Then we get a camera. That's a scene shot. And then we're under the elevator. GLaDOS is about to stop talking. When she stops talking, that's when you want to trigger the elevator. And then you have 7 seconds to set up for the next level. Okay? And then with this setup, you're going to do a very similar fly here. Cool. Now let's actually talk about how they did all this. So, where are we up to? Oh yeah, back here. Okay, so we've already talked about this. The rest of this level setup, but I think the setup's actually like really, really neat. So yeah, this happens, you triggered it. This flies here, we're next to a portal surface because we've got to get back in bounds. This portal is going to open any moment now because we've hit this trigger. So when this opens, that's when the player goes through, but you got to wait for it. The thing is that you should be falling right now, but they're not falling. And that just comes back to the infinite sense thing that I was talking about like ages ago. So if you're doing infinite sensitivity while in midair, you just freeze. So anytime they're floating in the air, that's what's happening. So they're just doing infinite sensitivity here, which is really neat. They're waiting for that portal to open. Now they're in here. They shoot a blue portal here. And the thing that we've been talking about on this map, like so much, the origin's just here. So if I do infinite sensitivity while next to a portal, that's going to warp me there. If I do it next to an orange portal, it's going to take me also there, right? So you can see that's where I am. But since they shot blue here, right, it's going to maintain the Z height of blue, and that's going to warp them to the origin, which is here again, but at the level that blue's at. So that is just like some flair that like didn't really need to be done, but it's a very, very quick way to get out of bounds. There's a lot of ways to get out of bounds. If you did save glitch to get out of bounds, it could technically waste a pick from like segmenting costs. We don't need to worry about it that much, but that's what they do to get there, which is very, very neat. So yeah, they do the Singularity warp here. This is all free out of bounds movement. That's a save load to get back in bounds. And then this is set up here. They get the camera here. There's actually 2 sets of portals here. This is not for any reason. This is purely style. It doesn't make you go faster. So if you look here, oh wait, not there. Where is it? Oh my god, it's like here. This is just like glitch showcasing right now. There's 2 sets of blue portals. This has to do with the fact that there's 2 orange portals on this map. So normally there's an orange portal that spawns here, and then there's an orange portal that spawns up there. Now, if you look at this one, that's the orange portal there. But when you hit this dialogue trigger back here, that's going to open up this orange portal. So you can see that orange portal opened, which changes that to blue. But before this opened, they shot a blue portal here, and this is the stale blue portal now. So the linkage changed, and then this blue portal that's up there gets placed here. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't save time. It doesn't lose time. It doesn't do anything like that. I was like, hey, Evelyn, what's up? Oh, that's all right. Yeah, thanks for commentating. That's, yeah, no worries. It's a really good run. Anyway, yeah, they do a seam shot here, so they shoot through the wall. This is convenient because it lets you shoot a portal underneath the elevator, and then you do PQR. So you get back in, and then you gotta wait. So waiting here, and then do I have a thing for this? I think I do. Execute trace 6. Where am I? Oh, I did not. Lol. Okay, wait. Dude, there's so many commands. Okay, SBT. Now I gotta remember the command. I tried to do a lot of these commands beforehand, because otherwise you would just be watching me type, and that's like very boring. Okay, oop. Oh, maybe it is just this one. You just gotta like wait a long time. Oh yeah, I just didn't scroll enough. Okay, so we're waiting for it to get back onto the elevator. Okay, cool. Okay, this is gonna get activated. Cool, so the elevator's moving. When the elevator's moving, you do the exact same seam shot to get out the top. You bring the camera with you. Okay? And then there's this little setup here. With all this. We're gaining the speed from the elevator. And then you're orientating the camera in such a way so that like this is here. And then that's 04. 04 is incredibly cool. I have a comparison for this. So old TAS is orange, new TAS is blue. Yeah, and this is a lot of it playing now. The big time save on this is purely just from the beginning. You're skipping that one dialogue sequence, and then you're just triggering that end dialogue straight away. I'm trying to look up how much time this saved exactly. This saved 4.9 seconds, and a lot of that just has to do with dialogue overlapping. Very, very cool. And yeah, it's basically this, like, new TAS is done, old TAS isn't yet. So old TAS has to do a setup, and it's done now. So takes a little bit, but that might be like, oh, I don't have like the proper numbers off my head, but that might be like a second, right? And then you also got to wait for dialogue, so that like, takes longer as well. I just realized I had the other comparisons here. So this is what these look like side by side as well. If we just look at 04. The problem is the new TAS is on the right. It's like already finished before like the left one like even starts. Rather insane, I must say. And so you'll see the big time difference there. They leave the elevator on the right first, but the left one's still waiting for that dialogue. Yeah, and then we got this. You'll see here on the right, this is the ISG setup here. So they reload to that previous save again to get ISG. So the camera can now move, and then you can see that the left side's like not even like done. It's not done at all. What an awesome portal TAS, dude. It's so cool. It's so cool. All right, let's talk about 06. 06, 07. These maps are connected. Let me load it. So this is the map here. They do a very big launch that goes all the way up here and then hits this elevator. 6, 7 is connected. Okay. You don't want to take the elevator, because if you take the elevator, it's 14 seconds time waste. Yeah, cool. The reason this is very good is because the old route had to touch a trigger here. This trigger would open this portal, and when this portal's open, only then could you have a portal here and then PQR and re-enter. So you're really waiting for this portal to open here. But all of that's just skipped with this launch here. So let me show you what that looks like in the video. So, oh, don't scroll too much. Don't scroll too much. Okay, it's here. Okay, it's here. It's this part. All right. So building up speed, it's like 2000 velocity, which is almost engine limit. ISG, and then hit the elevator. This triggers the elevator, and then they fall back into the map. They grab the camera. This camera's going to be needed for like the next map. And a lot of this routing was done back in like 2015, 2016. This was like an idea that Mikhail and I came up with, which is you can just use cameras to launch yourself. The ways in which we did that were very different to what this TAS is doing. But the idea is if you have an item, you can gain a lot of speed on it. And then with that speed, you can have it launch you. So that's why we want the camera. But the way they got the camera was really, really interesting. And you just don't see it in the video. So we saw this launch, okay? And this launch also has something else going on. Because we have ISG activated right now, this lets you do the up clipping. So this is related to what we had in Chamber 0 again. Because remember, you can't do up clipping if you don't have ISG. It actually just won't work. This is something I tried back in 2014. Didn't work, okay? If I had ISG, who knows if it would have worked in this engine, but like you would have had to do the old one, okay? But yeah, they save load in such a way that they get through the geometry here. And then if you look here, this whole trigger here is like the elevator, and they barely touch this. You can see that this is just touched here. It's so neat. It's so neat. So, did have a feeling new Portal TAS was in the making? Yeah, it's so sick. Yeah, and then once you're here, you can just lose all the speed. If you just make a bunch of save loads here, the game automatically wants to bring you down. The game will always bring you down if you're stuck. When you're here, they do a bunch of crouch spamming. I would like to show you that. So here it is. That's a bunch of crouch spamming that goes down, but you can see the cameras here. Camera didn't automatically got there because remember the camera was back here. So if we go back to here, before they do the launch, they actually throw this camera. So this camera gets like tossed, and then it like goes over here. Now this trace doesn't really do it justice. So let me see if I can like play it here. So, 06. I don't know which demo it is. We're gonna find out. Okay, it's not that one. Okay, it might be this one. Okay, so right here, you can see that's where the camera is. Okay. You can see how much I can slow this down by. Right, and then you can see it got like thrown. And then the more it gets thrown, the like further it goes. Now this is all those save loads that are going on. These are like 1 frame each. So like I can only like pause it because if I play it, you're not gonna see it. So like that already ran. But if I pause it, you can see the cameras there. So it just keeps going. Now the thing is ISG is activated. So when they throw the item, the camera can lose collision and just fall back through the ground, which is really bad. But if you get lucky, the camera can bounce and then slide, and then you get ice physics. So this just keeps happening until the camera ends up like all the way over here. And so while they're doing like that elevator activation, they're also trying to manipulate where that camera falls. 2 things are happening at once. It's so unbelievably cool. So yeah. So yeah, that's happening. Camera landed here during one of those save loads. They close the game, reopen the game. That cancels ISG. All the physics are back. Cool. And then that's just a PQR. This is setting up the items. And then here, they're standing on top of the camera. They're doing infinite sense on top of the camera. So remember, infinite sense makes your angle infinity. They do plus strafe, which puts it into the movement, but then they put that movement, that broken movement, into the camera, and the camera can eject you. So it's a new way of gaining speed. And then the second the map loads, they're just like instantly fired. I can show you this in game because I think it's really cool in the game. So this is 08. you can see they kind of just like flew across. So there's Ch00 like up here, and that's paused. And then if I hit play, it's just like immediately gone. Now, if we do it from first person view, we can look at the let me turn that off because that's really annoying after all. Oh, quick. If we have a look up here, right now, the velocity is already like 2000. Engine limit for this game, you can't go faster than this, is 3,500. Cool. So if we go forwards one tick, they're at that limit now. So you can't go faster. That's like as fast as you can go. Yeah. And then, yeah, you play it, and then you just go in a straight line. And then that's that level done. Yeah. So let's have a look at the last two levels, back to back. So, this is what 06 looks like. It's so cool. So again, old TAS couldn't do that. Old TAS had to go into the chamber, activate the portal, and then do a PQR. And you can see how long it takes for the old TAS to get to the top of the elevator shaft. Both TASs are doing a setup here with items to launch themselves. You can kind of see that. But yeah, if you're focusing on orange here, orange is doing a seam shot. You can't really see it, but they shoot through this crack here. So there's this line. So they shoot through this crack. The portal enters there. You're going to see them go over here. And then when that portal opens, they do a PQR, they land here, they activate the elevator. But you can see the big time difference. Like this one's already hit, so the level's already over. And then this hits, and then the level's over. Overall, that saved 127 ticks, which is 1.9 seconds, which is so sick. It's so cool. If we have a look at 08, 08 is just very quick. This is what 08 looks like. I have multiple angles for this. So this is from the elevator. This is from the ending elevator. This is from above. And the gap here is actually really large. This is like the time difference here. Now, if you were to ask me how many ticks this is 8 ticks difference, which is not a lot. It's 0.12 seconds. Yeah, cool. And then it's in. So that's what 8 looks like. Very, very neat. If we have a look at 6, this is what 6 looks like. So if you're looking at the left side, this is the old TAS. You can see it does the same shot. Yeah. And then both of them are doing setup for this. Old TAS had like a really, really interesting route here to get to the top of the elevator and also bring the camera. Now, Juxper did like a really like interesting setup here. He did save loads into the camera to like gain speed, but the Infinite Sense way is actually just quicker to do. Every save load that you do here actually delays the elevator by 1 tick. So you're gaining speed, but it's at the cost of 1 tick. So if you save load 3 times, you just waste like 0.045 seconds? Yeah, something like that. It's like, wait, I think I got that wrong. You waste 0.045, yeah, that's right. So yeah, not only did the new TAS like gain more speed, they also didn't lose time on the previous map, which is very neat. Cool. So that's 8. That's 888. We're almost up to orange portal gun, so this is going into 9 now. Yeah, so this route's been known for a long time. This is a seam shot into a Pika portal. And then we're at the end of the map. So a lot of this is, can you just shoot to the end elevator straight away? This skips a corner, not ironically. So if we watch this with the old TAS, you'll see what I mean. So old TAS is on left, new TAS is on right. This portal, they're both waiting on top of portals right now. The map has a trigger right at the start of the level. The portal won't open until you touch it, and then you're just waiting. So they can't do anything to progress here. Once the portal opens, they're both going to do their own tricks, the right TAS is already at the end, and they're at the end here. So they're right here. And so they literally just skip this corner. That's the big improvement, which is, it's like when I saw the side by side, I was like, really? Is that like all it's for? But yeah, they both trigger the end elevator. And then they're both doing the same idea, but different ways of going about it. They both need a chair. And then the chair is going to be used in 10. But we should talk about actually what happened here. Yeah, so this one. So execute, trace, which one is it? 9? Do I have it? Did I not do 9? No, wrong engine. Execute. Wait, did I not do it? No, there's no way I didn't do it. Trace 09. Trace 9's not executing. Wah. Oh, there we go. Different naming schemes. Awesome. Okay, so this is that trigger I was talking about. You want to touch this trigger as soon as possible. Yeah. Yeah, once you touch this trigger, you're good. Nice. We did it! There it is. Yeah, Pack, this will be on YouTube later. I have a VOD channel. Someone can link it in chat. Yeah, so once you touch this, that opens this portal after a predetermined amount of time. Okay? You set up this portal here with the idea of when you shoot away blue, you're going to walk through this blue portal here. You're going to come out orange, and then that other blue portal is going to land and you're going to go back through it. So this is the seam shot through here to make the portal land here. The really interesting thing about this is one frame they're here, and then the next frame they're up here. This is another vertical wrong warp. We saw this in Ch02, but I didn't really comment on it that much. If you're here and you're crouched, and then you save load, there's FCPS code that runs. It's called find closable passable space. I might have got the order of the wrong words wrong. But the point is, all these corners here are trying to find a way to get back in bounds. And there's an algorithm that will execute when that happens. It's basically like a marching cube thing. And the marching cube's going to go all the way up to here. And this is the closest inbound space that it can find. So it does that all in terms of like a tick. It does it like instantly. It just finds the closest inbound spot, and then it places you there. So yeah, you save, you reload, you're here. Yeah, and while that's happening, old TAS is here. And then you hit this trigger here to activate the end of the level, and now you have 14 seconds of setup. Neat. And with this setup, we need to get a chair, and the way they get a chair is quite wild. If we look over here, there's already one here. So there's shenanigans going on to get that chair, which is really neat. So let me just load up this map. We need the chair for the next map. There's 2 chairs in this level. There's one in this room, and there's one in this room. Now this is a very, very old route that we came up with during the old TAS. So I did a lot of routing for the old TAS along with Mikkel. The majority of the routes were mine, and Mikkel helped a lot as well. But I think Mikkel might have found this save glitch here, because I couldn't work out how to get the chair. So they found this, but the thing is, you need to get save glitch, and then once you get save glitch, there's another way you can use it. So I want to like demonstrate that real quick. So the real basic form of save glitch that we've used up until now is like, you're here, you save load on top of the portal bubble, and then when you leave, you lose collision with everything. I didn't do it right. Okay, let me do it again. Yeah, so you lose collision with everything, okay? But there's another thing going on here, and it's semi-related to edge glitches. So, let me stop falling out of the map. If you're standing on top of a portal here, the top of this portal is connected to that portal there. So you can literally just draw the line here. So this here is the same as this up there. And if you crouch here in a certain way, you can actually just see that in game. So you can see that's literally like where I am. And then sometimes it'll teleport you, okay? So if we're standing here, okay, I gotta do it without falling. If I'm looking forwards here and looking here at this wall, that's like looking forwards there at that wall. So when you shoot here, it's actually gonna make the portal land there. So what you're seeing on your screen is not actually where you're aiming. So we have an overlay for this that better shows this. I'll make it bigger. So in the top left, let me make it even bigger. So in the top left, you can see that. So right now they're synced. If I shoot the blue portal here and then I'm on top of this, the top left is where my portal's gonna land. So if I shoot at the camera here, that's what's going to make that camera fall over there. Very, very neat. So we call this edge glitch. There's a lot of things that you can do just with edge glitch. It's pretty powerful. But another really neat thing is when you save load, you now have save glitch. When you walk forwards, that's also going to make this view walk forwards. So it's like extending that edge glitch, which is rather neat. There was this really cool animation that was made back in the day by Finzi. And I just want to show you this part here. So this is like that edge glitch. And when you save glitch, any movement you do will just be copied verbatim for the other one. So the way you can think of it is like there's like this sort of like ghost offset that is you. So if you just like walk this way, it's going to shift that way. And then you can shoot a portal. Super convenient. And this is used a lot in the inbound speedrun. You don't see much action of it for out of bounds because we just have like better glitches most of the time. But yeah, this is all save glitch stuff that's happening. Unfortunately, you can't really see where they're like shooting half the time. But yeah, combination of that and like edge glitch is like really useful. So this is like the edge glitch idea. So imagine doing edge glitch with this, but you could also walk around and then shoot places. Very neat. If we go back to this one, we want to get this chair. Now this chair is in this room here. This is the one that we want to get. So they get save glitch here. So when they finish the level, they have 14 seconds to set up. You go here, you shoot a portal, and then you get save glitch here. And this edge here is connected to the left edge of this orange portal. So you see this disattached camera, that is us over there. So if you start walking forwards here, that's gonna make you start walking forwards over here. And so they walk forwards far enough to get this camera into this room here. That's not where they are right now. But this is where the portal offset is. So if you shoot blue here, this chair's just going to fall with gravity and then it's going to end up outside here. And that's how the chair got here. But you don't see any of that in the run. All you see is like this. So you do the seam shot, you crouch, save load, you're at the end, you activate the elevator. 14 seconds to set up now, save glitch. Here, save glitch, but your offsets in that observation room. You shoot that to the chair, and then this is just a bunch of like out of bounds shenanigans to get to the top. But then like we have the chair now. This here is a falling save glitch, so let's do it slowly. So they got a portal out of bounds here. How did they get that out of bounds? Is that just a seam shot? I think that's the seam shot. I think they shot here. Wait, I actually don't know how they did that. Seam shot, yeah. Was it this corner? I think they're standing here. I think they just shot through this wall. I think that's what makes sense. I've never actually looked at that. That's actually kind of wild. And then from this angle, you can get this. You have so much time to set this up, but these are all peaks to get up here. And then you do a PQR, and then you grab the chair, and then we have it here. Cool. And then there's one more thing going on here. And it has to do with the next map. So I'll show you what the next map looks like once I can like find my comparisons. Where is it? So yeah, this is what 09 looks like at the end of the day. So you can see that blue just skips a corner. Blue's just like teleporting everywhere. It's really crazy how different both of the methods are for getting the chair, but they both get a chair at the end of the day. And then they're up in the top right here. Blue actually got there first, and it's like already done. And then the idea here is, I might just let this one play out. This is my route, which is really, really neat. I like this route a lot. So you get the chair, you get save glitch, you get the chair to boost you, and then you're done the map. So there was a thing I noticed really, really like a long time ago. Let me go into this map. So map, test chamber 6. Portal is just a game of exceptions. A lot of the tech looks the same, but the reason for getting into the tech is rather different. So I've been saying the whole time, every single elevator is 14 seconds. The only one that isn't is this one, and it's because we abuse this trigger right here. This trigger is here on every single map, and it's the logic that controls when to load the next map. So when this elevator is at the top, it will fire off this trigger, and this trigger says, hey, cool, load the next map. Now, all of these are disabled for player touch. It's just like internal game engine code. Now, when you're in Hammer, which is the way they like made all the maps, there's literally a checkbox that like you would tick that says disable touch. The problem is they forgot to check the flag here. While I'm yapping, I might as well just open it up. I can actually just show you because I actually have the maps. So let's find it. So open, and then yeah, original maps. We want this one. Okay, so yeah, if we fly all the way over here, and then we just like open this up, it's literally just a menu here. Disable touch. If they just tick that box, this would fix it. And then it's done. I don't know how they messed that up. Every other map has that checked, except this one. So if you just touch it, it just loads, which saves 14 seconds automatically. So the game becomes get there as quick as possible. And so the route for it is, well, why don't we just lose collision with the whole world? And what better way to do that than by using save glitch? So you're going to get save glitch, and then you just go in a straight line with the idea of hitting that trigger there. And it is just pretty much a straight line. So there's ways to get save glitch really easily. The classic one is you put a portal here, and then you kind of, you know, you'll rub up against it like this. You save, you load, you walk backwards, and then I think I have it now. Yeah. I don't... Wait, did I get it? Oh, I didn't get it. I haven't done this for ages. No, I'm watched. Wait, I normally do it on this side. Oh, wait, which engine am I in? Oh, no, I'm in the old one. Okay, I thought I was on Steam Pipe for a moment. How do you do it? It's like here? I thought it was a hard wall. Is that it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I got save glitch. All right, sweet. Nice. Now, the thing is, you'll have collision with some walls. So, like, I have collision with this one. I don't have collision with this one. It really depends on where the portal is. So, like, if I go over here, and then I land, you can see I'm gonna, like, fall through all of this, which is kind of gross. But if you put a portal here, some of this would become solid. So you can see this is solid here, but if I walk over here, it's not. We have visualization tools to find where the ground is solid and where the ground isn't solid. Again, it just comes down to which environment gets culled in like their code that like lets you pass through walls in the first place. Nice. So they need to shoot a few portals here to do this. All right. So let's go back. There's a lot of yapping. So here you need save glitch, and then there's a few portal shots here. And the idea with those portal shots is to let you bounce on top of the level. Now, the way they got save glitch is very different to the way I got save glitched, because you don't want to be waiting for this orange portal to open. This orange portal takes a while to open. And then once that opens, you would shoot blue here. You'd have to rub against this wall save load. That takes too much time. The second that orange portal opens, they have save glitch. And the reason they got save glitch here was because of setup in the previous map. It's always the way. You always do setup in the previous map. So here, they did a crouch save glitch, like a duck save glitch. So they ducked under the portal bubble while save loading. Here, you shoot a portal underneath the map, and this portal is going to be underneath the map when it transitions. That portal's still there. So we still have save glitch here, but because the orange portal isn't open yet, save glitch is like paused for a moment. And then the second the orange portal opens up, we have save glitch again. Now, if you think about it, we can walk through this wall, but the object's sort of tangible. So if you run into the object doesn't want to go through the wall, but you want to go through the wall, all that speed gets converted into you, and then that's what launches you. And then you hit the instant load trigger. Very neat stuff. Let me go back to here. Let me run the trace for it. 10. So that's all very old routing. The brand new tech for this that I didn't know, and I only saw when I watched this back, they get the speed from the chair, but they also get the speed from the camera. This is new. Oh my god. So then that lifts them up, and then they go even faster. Oh my god. Because the old one, we didn't touch this camera. So there you go. Done. Chair strats, chair into camera. And then yeah, you bounce along the top here, and then you hit this. And then the level's done. Okay. I have comparisons for this. We have comparisons. So we have new TAS on left. Sorry, old TAS on left, new TAS on right. So yeah. So if you focus on the left one, real quick, you can see that they're kind of doing what I said here, which is, oh my god. Thank you. Yeah. They shoot a portal here with the idea of getting save glitch. So we're just focusing on the left one. That takes time to do. And literally the time save here is you're already against the wall you need to be against. That's basically it. I'm not kidding. Like it is so minute. Because if you think about it, old TAS is standing here. Old TAS has to move to this wall to then launch. So there's walking distance there. But new TAS is already against the wall because they got save glitch in the previous map. So the second this portal opens, they can just immediately launch. So you can see this is why these poses here are rather different. And then this is like when gaming starts, but they've already launched, where the left one has to launch now. But we launched on the right wall. I actually don't know why we ever launched on the right wall. I don't know. Maybe a blind spot there. But yeah, left wall, you get chair launch, you also get camera launch. And then you're done. So unbelievably cool. This is what it looks like. In 3D view. Oh, the gap is huge. The gap is huge. It's such a big gap. Oh my god. And very minor thing here, you'll see this like the orange one kind of lurches forwards like that. Reason for that is little chair launch. Little chair launch. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, you can see blue launches way faster. And then we're into 11. So yeah. Now, there's a subtle thing that goes on here. You have free out-of-bounds movement here, but they've stopped. All that velocity from the last level will actually make you keep going. In the 5135 build, the second you're out of bounds, you lose all your momentum. So old TAS didn't need to worry about this, but old TAS would get stuck here. This is such a subtle difference. Let me just show you with the old TAS. So I think it's like here. Oh my god, it's so loud. So old TAS did this. The level transitions here, but you lose all your speed immediately because there's no free out of bounds movement. The issue here is we can't move. There's nothing like you can do here. The one way to unstick yourself is to shoot a portal. So once this portal opens, you can now move because the portal bubble is there to like catch you. And then you'll finish the map. So there's these shots that happen here to get to the end of the level. Because remember, we're just trying to get to the end elevator as fast as possible because you need that 14 seconds buffer. That 14 seconds buffer gives you so much time to go back and do other stuff that you need to do. The new TAS does this way better. So here, it needs to solve the problem of not flying out of the map. And the way it does that is it just pauses. If you just pause, you lose all your momentum instantly. And they also Inf Stafe as well, which just pauses you in midair. From this point here, you can actually just move. And so it's very hard to see, but there's a box here. You can kind of see the light here. You can shoot portals on this. But the old TAS couldn't see that. So, oh no, the old TAS could see that, but they couldn't see what the new TAS can see. So yeah, this launch happens. And then you can see they look to the left here. This left box is like the only one that they can really see. They can only see like a little bit of this. This is actually a reroute here, which is so cool. And I'll explain why this is so cool in a moment. But see, they can see so much more of the level here. And so they will shoot here, and then they'll shoot under the elevator, and then the level's done. And then there's other stuff that's going on here. But I want to like focus on this part here. So let me go in game and like show you. So we can probably just do it here, right? So if you do this, cool. You can see that I'm flying away from the level. That's because we have free out of bounds movement. So that's why you got to pause when the level starts. So let me like demonstrate this. So see how I'm moving? If I just pause and then unpause, I'll just start falling. If I pause and then unpause, you'll like lose that momentum. Yeah. The other thing as well, you can just Inf Sens and then you pause in midair. So that's what they're doing here. So you Inf Sens to kind of pause yourself, and then you can see this angle here. Now there's two things. There's this portal shot. Do you see how far away this is? That's like really far away. And then there's this one. So these take different times to land, but this one's a lot closer. Okay. And then the idea behind this one was that you could see this angle under the elevator. But if you shoot here instead, you can still see under the elevator here. So that's essentially what they do. And if you just draw the lines, there's not going to be a good way to do this. But the end elevator is here. Okay. Old TAS shot from here to here to here, where new TAS shoots from here to here. So this is just less travel time. Okay. So now that we're at 11, the rest of the game is all about portal shots. So I want to talk about portal shots really, really briefly, okay? We're literally just going to be counting portal shots. Every single level comes down to how do you get to the end quickly, and can you do that in the least amount of portal shots? The reason for that is, this is as fast as you can shoot portals in the game. It's every half a second. So I'm just holding down click. We call this on cap. There's no way to shoot this faster. And so if your route requires 5 portals to get to the end, you just multiply that by 0.5. And then that tells you how fast that's going to be. So you already know that this is going to take 2.5 seconds. That's just how that works, okay? And so you always want the portal to land before you shoot your next portal. Now, the problem here is, this here, if I shoot on cap, the portal never lands. So if I shoot this and then do this, you can see that other portal never lands. So this is way too far away. So you actually have to wait. You can't do this on cap. You're actually losing time here. So this is why this travel time here matters, because it's actually just shorter. And then it's similar on the way here as well, because you have to shoot this portal here, and that also needs to travel. So you can see that that's also just not on cap. Where if you had this angle here, I think this is very close to being on cap. I don't even know how they did this. Yeah, you can see that's like barely there. So it's shorter time frames. Yeah. And so I have a really cool comparison for this. Dude, this stuff's so new. It's so cool. Okay, so this is what it looks like side by side. Left is old TAS, right is new TAS. Whichever one gets to the elevator first is faster. All right. So you can see the right one gets there quicker, and it's all because it just minimized that distance. It's hard to watch both of them like that at the same time. So I got this view. I got this view here. Where is it? Look at this. These are the shots. You can see that blue gets there, like straight away. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. This is so cool. So, at the beginning of the map, orange is going to shoot here. You will see orange appear here very briefly, but blue is going to appear over here. Okay. So you can see, because of the free out of bounds movement, you can actually walk around the corner, which gives you that better angle. There's blue. Okay, orange is over here now. Okay, so you can see that blue already appeared out of here because it didn't have to wait for the travel time. And then blue, this is where the orange portal is, by the way. Blue already has an orange, blue portal here. And they're about to re-enter. So you can see that they've already entered here. And then orange enters afterwards. So if we just watch out at full, like half full speed, right? You can see the time difference there. And that's the time saving. That is the whole time saving for the map. Everything else in the map doesn't matter in terms of time saving. This saved 32 ticks, which is 0.48 seconds, which is effectively saving a portal shot, which is weird. They shot the same number of portals, but because of the distance that they needed to cover, it was effectively another portal shot. So the other route might as well have been like a, how many portal shots do they do? They do 1, 2, 3. Might as well have been like a 4 portal shot. This one's like a 3 portal shot. It's so neat. Could that have been done in the old TAS, or would it end up slow walking around the corner after unstucking? You would have to unstuck, but the unstuck wouldn't happen until the orange portal opens. That's the issue. Because you want to make sure you do the overlapping correctly. This actually comes up later for a different map, but you have to shoot here first to unstick yourself, but the unsticking only happens when orange is here. Yeah. Wait, let me think. Wait, am I getting something wrong here? Sorry, I'm thinking. No. I know what I mean. Where is it? It's just like articulating it's another thing. No, that's the wrong TAS. This one. So see this. You shoot blue here. You can't walk around this corner until this opens. But they would have shot this earlier. They shoot this earlier with the idea that once you land through here, this places. But the thing is, you would have to delay that shot, the movement. So the old TAS really wouldn't have had that option. It's just like really hard. Like you would have to delay this shot with the idea of now walking forwards to then get around this corner. And then like when you get around that corner, then you can shoot. So you'd be delaying the shot for like the better line. It might be faster, but yeah. So yeah, that's like another time save for this like TAS that they just get because of the free out of bounds movement. Because like if you watch this here, so like this happens, you gotta wait for the orange portal to open, but like they can move, they can already set up the shot and then they can walk through. So that's probably where some of the extra time save comes from, which is really neat. Okay, both TASes do the exact same thing here. There's nothing new here, but I still really like this. I think this is really cool. It's just some like really clever routing. It's genuinely so cool. What do we need? We need the camera for the next map. And then we need to be underneath the elevator. Now that we have the orange portal gun, it's like the third phase of the run. It's a bunch of new glitches, bunch of new tech. So like when you only have one portal gun, you have to do all like this crazy stuff to get to the end. But now that we have both, the game opens up in like a really, really interesting way. But let me explain this setup real quick. Why do you want the camera? You will barely see it. Okay, cool. The camera's already being used. And you're like, what? Like, what? Huh? This is a very, very old trick that I found ages ago. It's called a fake reload. So let me show you. So if we're holding down click, oh, it's because I have developer on. Okay. So yeah, if you load the map and then you hold down click, do you see how long that takes the portal to shoot? So like this takes a very long time. That actually takes like a second to shoot. So boom, second, and then every portal shot is half a second now. So the idea here is, if you're holding an item and then you just drop the item, that has a different animation. So I can show this here. So if you look at the portal gun, you can see it kind of does like a little, like a reload cocking thing, right? When you do that, this is half a second. So you can basically overlap the animations. So if you're at the beginning here and you got to wait a second, you just drop the camera, it overrides the animation, and then you get the half a second. So then you no longer have the map transition penalty shot anymore. Every single map is going to do this from now on, if it can. And it pretty much will. And for every single map, you just save half a second just from dropping an item. Super cool. There is one caveat on that. Only works on blue. Doesn't work on orange. So you also got to be really careful about that. So if you have routing and you have to shoot a portal straight away, you have to make sure it's blue. If you do the next map and you have to shoot orange for some reason, you're not going to get the time save. So every single route has to make sure that they order their portals properly. It's very, very weird. Also, hey Tesla, hi. Can that be used to skip waving between portal shots? I forget the timing for this. I thought it could, but that was me back in 2013. I don't remember. I don't remember. Which idiot named it fake reload? Yes, I had named it fake reload. I remember I told an IRL friend once what fake reload was. And he said to me, that's just an animation cancel. So I'm just going to call it animation canceling because it makes more sense instead of fake reload. Because I was thinking of reloading the gun, but like it's overloaded with reloading the level. So we just do an animation cancel. So if you're holding an item, you drop it, animation cancel. That's really, really useful for exactly this point here. Holding the camera, ready for the animation cancel. And then the next level loads, animation cancel happens, shoots blue. Saved half a second immediately. Immediately. Anyway, so that's what the camera's for. So, we already finished the level. We already finished 12. But, sorry, I'm trying to find which engine I need. This one. But we need a camera. So the rest of this routing is for camera. Let me execute the trace. So I want to show you. I want to show you. It's so cool. Okay, so what is it? It's 11. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Look what you did, good. Now you see it's secure about fake reload. No, I've been calling it animation canceling for years. Dude, I've named so many bad... I've named so many glitches in this game. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. My best ones is like planetary alignment. I named that. Goated name. Okay? Vertical angle glitch? Maybe I shouldn't have called it vertical angle glitch. Lag? That's not a bad name. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So, just to recap what 11 was like, right? You shoot around this corner, you have blue, you do a peek here. So orange always is static here. Now this is where the orange portal gun is, but we're just not going to get it. There's no reason to get it yet, because we can get this during the 14 seconds. So our goal is just to get to the end of the map as quick as possible. You do the peek here, and then you do this peek up here, so this portal lands here. And so we're already at orange down here. And then you just do a PQR. So as you walk through this portal, you see how one of the corners is in bounds? You just make sure blue disappears before that. So you shoot blue as you walk through blue. The other blue will land somewhere else. Doesn't really matter where it lands. And then you jump, you trigger the elevator, and then that's it. Now the 14-second countdown starts. And this is where I actually really like this routing. I think this routing is really cool. So you need to pick up the portal gun. So we're currently here. It's easy enough to just shoot blue here, do this jump. We have the portal gun. You shoot orange here, you shoot blue here, shoot orange here, and then you edge glitch. We talked about edge glitching before, it comes up now. So currently, you're standing here looking this way, which is effectively giving you this view. Now this is a 2-for-1. This is so cool, right? It's a 2-for-1. You shoot the blue portal here, you're still standing there, but you shoot blue there, okay? So blue lands here. You need the camera for that next level so you can save half a second. But as that camera's falling, you're still on top of orange. So you can edge glitch. You're now looking here. You shoot at that box that we said was slow, but the thing is you have 14 seconds, so you might as well use it now. That blue is gonna land, but before that blue lands, you just go through orange. So now you're out here with the camera, and this blue has landed before, before it disappeared. So you got through the portal, and now the blue lands here with the idea of you going through orange to get this angle, which is like fine because you're just gonna shoot under here anyway. Blue gets here, you do the same PQR. So now you're inbounds again, and then your blue portal's back here, right? And then it's just a matter of grabbing your camera. That was like already dropped there. So now you got the camera. This is just setup, okay? And then this is the next map. Boom, level's done, okay? So if we go back, you can kind of see this here. So this is the edge glitch setup. So that's the first shot, that's the camera shot. This is the out of bounds shot. As that out of bounds shot is traveling, you go through, the portal behind you disappears. So blue's out of bounds, orange is here. This is the angle for this elevator. That's a blue shot. Okay, and then you just shoot this blue wherever. You might as well shoot it next to the camera. Back inbounds, and then you just shoot orange underneath, you grab the camera. Boom, there it is. And then animation cancel. Animation cancel, save 0.5 seconds. And then this is crazy. You shoot 2 portals and then you're at the end. Boom, done. Okay, so this is really where we got to start doing portal counting. Okay, because this is where all the time save comes from now on. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but this is the phase of the game that we're up to. Okay, so let's do it back here. So this is the old TAS. Old TAS did animation canceling, so we're even. Shoots 1 portal, clipping glitch, shoots a 2nd portal under the elevator, shoots a 3rd portal to do a PQR to get yourself back inbounds. So that's a 3 portal shot route to get to the end. Compare that to this one. This one is the same animation cancel. 1, 2, done. So they saved a portal shot, which is, oh, it's so cool. Dude, saving portal shots is so satisfying. Oh my god, so that's just a free 0.5. Now, we're gonna talk about the actual teleport that happened. So, I have a thing to this, if I can find the right one. Yeah, 13 overlay. Is it this one? No, it's just 13. Okay, show 13. Okay, what's happening? Oh, please let me show it. All right, okay. I'm to a 5-minute stream. It was never 5 minutes. Gonna go lied to you, man. It's a 5-minute run. It's a lot to talk about. We're only halfway. But it gets a lot quicker now. It gets a lot quicker. We're like in the end game. Okay, so this is a vertical angle glitch. This is a very, very interesting glitch. We haven't talked about it at all, but it's rather old. And back then, we didn't understand it that well. People would get it randomly. So here's a very old clip. Let me play it in like normal speed. All right, cool. So if you have vertical portals, mainly the entrance portal, you can sometimes trigger this extra teleport. So notice where blue and orange is now. So blue and orange was there, but somehow we got teleported across the map. And it's like, what? Like, why did that happen? Okay, so let me actually, let me go to that chamber. SP2, cam control, 0. Oh my god, we're gonna wait for the wake up. I don't have a save for this. I don't have a save! Okay, and then do this, and then... Oh. Yeah, so in that clip I just showed you, there's a portal here, and then there's a portal here. Okay, let me just turn off this other overlay real quick. So you have blue here, you have orange here. Now if you draw a straight line between these two, and then you just copy that straight line again, these are the same length. Okay, and then if you just look at where this is, if we just fly here, this is in this spot here. Okay, looking at the end elevator. So that's where they are in this video, is right here. So when they walked through the portal, it accidentally teleported them twice, and we call this a vertical angle glitch. Okay, so you can see this like here, and then they go back, boom, happens twice. So instead of just like taking you back to here, what happens is you go backwards this way twice. It's very odd. This wasn't understood back then. It's understood now. Uncrafted has made an animation. Thanks to Uncrafted for this. He's the one that's done like a bunch of research into this. It turns out it has to do with how code is being executed. So if we just pause it real quick, whenever you touch a portal, it needs to teleport you, but there's a bug in the way they handle the teleportation. There's just some like weird logic that happens. So a function will be called anytime you touch a portal. So if you look at the little dude here, down here, when you go through orange, the second you're behind orange, that's when it puts you in front of blue. When you're behind blue, it puts you in front of orange. So you're walking like this. That's how it like typically works. But because of floating point, sometimes when the teleport happens, when you walk through and you come out, instead of being put in front of the portal, you actually put behind the portal. Okay, so a bunch of code runs that does all this checking. They have like a little call queue that happens like every like tick. If you want to see what this like looks like in action, it looks like this. We're not going to get into the code because it doesn't actually matter. But just know that there's like a queuing system, and it does this for everything. This isn't even like a complete execution, but notice there's like a bunch of like function calls. It's like checking everything. But typically it should only teleport you twice. So it'll teleport you from orange to blue, does a bunch of physics checks. So that's what it looks like. The bug comes in from it accidentally getting triggered multiple times. So let me see if I can open up again. So typically you should just be placed here, but you should be placed in front of blue. You're not placed in front of blue though. You're placed in front of, you're placed behind blue. So while all this orange code is happening, now blue code is also happening. Okay. Now there is a little bit of an unknown factor here that's still being researched by like Uncrafted. But the main point is this is going to get triggered, and then it's going to trigger you going back to orange, and then it's going to trigger you going back to orange again, as if you were standing at blue. So it does that displacement twice. So you can see it did that twice. The game gets confused, right? So it believed that it needed to take you here, but then when you were here, it still thought you were at blue, so then it did it again. And then it displaces you here. So the main point is, these lines are the same distance. You can take advantage of that. And we take advantage of that, oh, this is the wrong portal. We take advantage of that here, Ch13. So if you have a look at this, this is a vertical portal. When they walk through this portal, it's going to take you outside of orange, but because of the floating point and precision, instead of putting you in front of orange, it puts you behind orange, which means it's going to teleport you back to blue, but it's going to teleport you back to blue twice. So it teleports you back to blue when you're at orange, and then when you're at blue, it teleports you back to blue while you're at blue, which teleports you over here. So this line happens, and then this line happens. and this line over there just happens to be under the elevator, okay? Which is the view that you're seeing in the top left. So if I move the player around, you can see that's moving you underneath there. So it's a matter of just walking through the portal. And then when you walk through the portal, it teleports you. You got to walk through it in a very particular way. It's very difficult and kind of random. But yeah. If you're TASing, then you can just do it. There's no issues there. So yeah, that's a vertical angle glitch. That's what happens here. Boom, and then you're underneath the elevator. A lot of this now is set up. There's a falling save glitch there. It's a variant on the duck save glitch, but they don't have collision with the world right now. Cool. And then this is a new setup here. And then we're done. We don't need a camera here because weirdly enough, they've already shut the portal. So let me explain what's going on there after we look at comparisons. So yeah, if we look at 13, this is what 13 looks like. So you can see that the new TAS on the right just gets to the end, like straight away. It's kind of hard to follow what's going on when it's side by side. I have this view as well. The main money shot here is it's just seeing which color touches this first. So if you're looking at it, like blue instantly... Oh, I didn't even explain how blue ended up here. So blue starts over here. Okay. So you can see blue's here. Blue is currently standing next to a portal. Turns out the origin of the map's just here. It's just really lucky that the origin's here. So you just do a swap, like a sensitivity warp. That takes you to here. So you just use Inf Sens, you just hit the button, instantly teleports you. And then you set up both portals. You do the vertical angle glitch on the wall here. That teleports you to the end. So it's like 2 teleports, it's 2 portals. Where orange here has to do 3 portals to get here. So yeah, saved a portal, all that just for like half a second. Sick. Orange is going to do a different setup here that launches you to the end elevator with the camera. The new TAS does not do that. It doesn't do it. Let me see if I can show you why that is. SB2. Do I have a thing for this? Execute. Oh, I don't know what it's called. Trace 14? Oh, not 14. Around 13. Alright, so I already explained all this stuff, so yeah, whatever. You teleport under here. Okay, and then a lot of this is flavor. They do a clipping glitch here. I didn't really explain this, but like it's not that important. As you're falling through this portal here, when you come out of this portal, your hitbox is going to be outside the map for a bit, so it's outside there. They use that to set up a portal here. As you're falling here, you save load, so now you got save glitch, so collision no longer exists. And then you're underneath the map here. While this is transitioning, you can crouch here and then sort of go through this wall with the idea of looking at this wall here. So they're currently aiming at the underside of this. And this is a brand new glitch. We didn't know about this back in the day. So what we can do is we can actually just draw... Oh, I have to type it in manually. SPT... Nah, what is it? Overlay... What's the command? SPT draw map overlay. There it is. Oh yeah, thanks. And then we're just going to overlay the next map. So the way a lot of these maps are handled is that they all have like their own origin. And whenever you transition from one map to another, they're not necessarily aligned. So this part of the map here is aligned with this part of the map, but the coordinates are different. So like when you load here, you might have like, let's just make up some numbers. You might be at like 0, 0, like 20. Okay. But then this here, this should be 0, 0, 20 in the next map, but it just it just changes it. So this would be like -10, 0, and then like negative like 20, right? Something like that. So these coordinate systems are just like completely different. But there's just the illusion that these are lined up. So like you could just imagine this and this is like overlaid on top of each other. Now the game doesn't really care about that imaginary state. It cares about the like real like one-to-one mapping. So if the maps were overlaid on top of each other, this is what it would look like. The ending location for the next map is here. So if I just like play demo 14 now, and we have a look, that's 14. You can see the ending is here. Okay, if we go back to 13, that's where 13 is. So you're like, camera doesn't like change here. Now the interesting part about this is that there is like an overlap in geometry here. And this is the thing that is going to get abused. It's such a cool glitch. I tried to get this to work back in like 2016, 2015, but I couldn't figure it out. I missed one detail. But I'll explain it to you. I'll show you why it works. So whenever you shoot a portal, there's the animation for it traveling. So you can see that like it takes some while to like travel there. What script is that? It's SB2. They're like built-in tools. So like if I shoot a portal here, it's gonna take some time to travel like that. We need the cube, so let me just grab the cube. But it turns out this like travel time here is just a lie. It's only like animation. So when you shoot here, that portal is already shot the instant you've clicked. And the reason for that is like, if you look at the crosshair here, this actually tells you a lot of information. I can't shoot here because it's not lit up. If I look to the left, I can shoot there. So they already know whether a portal can land or not based on that sort of reticle updating thing. So when you shoot a portal like here, it's already placed, and then they just do an animation. And they just like calculate how long it should take there, and then they like draw all the particles and stuff. And so they'll delay the portal opening for like a little while for that. Oh my god, we're about to die. Until like the offset's there. So like say if this takes half a second, the portal's dormant for half a second and then they just open it. So that's why you can get like weird things where like as this is closing, you can shoot the portal and then let me see if I can do it. And then it looks like it went through the door, but it didn't go through the door because it was already placed. It's just the animation. So the main thing is that positions always stored the like frame you click. It doesn't matter if an object gets in a way, it will just go through it because all of the animation stuff is like fake. So knowing that, with this setup here, this is going to have some like offset associated with it as well with the travel time. So they shoot a portal here to land here, but then the map changes. And when the map changes, the portal's still going to open up here because it already calculated that there was geometry there. And then you're going to see it here. So let's just like play the script. Trace 14. Yeah. So if we just keep an eye here and then we like advance frame by frame, you can see the orange portal places. But it doesn't place for long because it shouldn't be there. Like this is like really broken. But this just happens to line up with the underside of this office building. Very cool. Very, very cool. So with that, you can just walk through this portal. So you can see that they walk through the portal and then they trigger the elevator and then that's the level done. So that's why you don't need the camera for this level because you've already shot the portal. You know, like you don't need to overcome any delay. So yeah, that's really neat. And then the origin of the map's there. Since you don't want to be inside the elevator because the elevator traps you, you want to spend the 14 seconds like setting up the next map. You need to get out somehow. Well, there's a portal right here. So you can just do a swarp, like the Singularity warp, to take you back to the origin. And then from there, this is just a really, really clever movement to make it here. Now, every single one of these stopping points here is just Infinite Sense. Infinite Sense just resets your speed, and you're basically just trying to fight gravity, because you have gravity for like this whole like period here, like going downwards, but you don't want to fall too fast. So they're strafing forwards, like just air strafing. And then you Singularity, like you do Infinite Sense to pause yourself in midair, and then you just keep doing that until like you reach this wall. And it's just enough for you to land here, and then catch yourself in orange. And we already had blue underneath the elevator. So then the rest of this is just like gameplay now. It's a matter of shooting blue up there, with the idea of shooting blue over here. You do a normal bisect re-entry so you can see that the corner is in bounds there. You shoot blue away. You only got to shoot it a little bit away. You get this cube. This cube is going to be for the animation cancel that they do on the next map. And then basically the level's over here. So let me play the TAS so you can see that all in motion. So this is the end of 13. Okay. And then they do the portal traveling warp there, plus the Singularity warp. So the map was already finished, like in that instant. It's really, really quick. I didn't even like catch this the first time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was just like blown away. It absolutely was like crazy to me. So yeah, this is 14. So 14 just loaded. They have to do a bunch of save loading here to delay the portal, I think. For a few frames here, you can actually see that the orange portal opens here. And then, yeah, they touch it here. That's like the one frame they're in there. You can only see that for a moment, and then they're at the origin. Cool. And then they do the strafing, and then they catch themselves. This is all the out of bounds movement. Get back in bounds. Okay, and then this is going to be like the exact same thing now. This lineup here is another portal traveling glitch. So let me show you the overlay for that. So we're on this map right now. If we draw the next map, there's a part of the map here that also overlaps. So there's specifically this room here. So if I was to load up 15, this is where it would land. And the ending's right there. So you're skipping all of that, which is so lucky. It's so lucky that that's just how that like overlapped, essentially. It's actually incredible because you spawn all the way here and then you have like all of this. The reason the old TAS is much slower on this map, comparison wise, is because you have to wait for the portal travel distance here. But the thing is we just overlay it with the previous map by having it land here instead. So it's going to land in this spot here. So yeah, you do the offset. The offset's going to open that portal in like half a second or whatever. But you make sure that half a second is during this like map transition here. Cool. And then I don't know if I have a thing for this. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, let's play it though. Yeah, so then, oh my god, it already happened. So yeah, it's this. Okay, the portal landed across the map, and then we're under the elevator. It's very quick. It's very, very quick. Let me show you some comparisons again. So this is 13. Okay, I already played this one, but just like with the context now, so like blue's already like done. Okay, orange wants to be on the top of the map. That orange being on the top of the map wants to do that camera launch into the elevator, but it's going to have to travel like a really, really long way. And the launch they want to do is that. That's the launch, like the orange one there. But you can see blue's already in there because of like the map warping. It's basically just a wrong warp. And then, yeah, blue's done now. And old TAS is only like mid-launch. Anyway, so we play this. You can see orange is now done. This is that sort of warping tech with the idea of grabbing this cube. Because you want to do the animation canceling on this very next map here. You can see orange is loading the next level, and then blue's already done. Now, another thing I need to talk about here. The old TAS saved a lot of time by doing like this launch, but they're in the elevator now. They can't leave the elevator for like, I believe it's like roughly 80 ticks. So they got to wait for the door to open. That's like over a second. The advantage that the new TAS has is since they're under the elevator, they can shoot a portal immediately, and they're going to be able to shoot a portal at 34 ticks. So they already got like the time save here just from having a better setup by not staying inside the elevator. So that's why it was like really important to also get out of the elevator so that they could do that next traveling warp thing. And so this is what it looks like here. Orange is already done. You can barely see it, but like it flickers for a moment there. Like if you were keeping your eyes on this, you might see a glint of orange, but oh, sorry, blue. Sorry, I got my colors backwards. Yeah, so yeah, you see blue. Blue's entered, right? Orange has only just exited now. So this is like that next map. So blue's done, orange only just got out, and then orange is shooting underneath and now has only triggered the end. So there's like a big time save there. The way they got exactly under the elevator is actually also really interesting. Let me see if I can show you that. So show 15. This is just the demo. This is the TAS demo. So when they're underneath this, they animation canceled with the cube. Blue's there. Orange is across the map over here. Okay. So this is this. Okay. But they're ending elevators over here. But the thing is, they got map save glitch right now. So with map save glitch, you're just in the save glitch state. So you have the shooting offset. So the top left is where they're aiming right now, which is right where the elevator is. So when they look up and they do this shot, you're going to see Ch00 shoot here, right? So there's a shot there. They shoot orange. That orange landed under the elevator. And that's basically just from that like offset thing again, which is like so wild. It basically just comes back to the thing we saw here, right? So you get save glitch, you move offset, but the offset's like really far on the map, and then they just instantly shoot under the elevator. It's so wild. It's actually like insane. Cool. And so that's what happens in the span of, okay, let's go back. So this is 14. You're going to do the map warp here, animation cancel, save glitch shot under the elevator, trigger it. This is the singularity warp, so they were at the center of the map. All of that just to get back out of the elevator with the idea of getting the camera. Okay, because you want the camera for the animation cancel on the next map. And then this here is yet another map overlay. Which I like when I saw this map overlay, I was like, I didn't even like know this one existed. So let me show you where that one is. This one is going to oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Yeah, this one's going to take you all the way over here. Okay, so if I do play demo, oh, do I have it? Oh, that's sort of in this portal. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, 15. Okay, so this is 15. They're currently here. Okay, and then if you look at the next map, it looks like this. So they're aiming here. Okay. And then if we look at that map, the portal's going to land here. But if you look at where this is in relation to anything, it's in the middle of the level. It is so weird. It actually boggled my mind why you would even do this. But you spawn here, the end's here. So this is like where you start, right? This is where you end. But they put the portal here. Okay. Frame by frame. Yeah, I'm using MPV. I'm doing frame by frame. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It's set to E. Oh, is it? Oh, thank you. So yeah. Yeah, they're going to make the portal land here. Now, the idea behind this is you have the save glitch offset again. So your save glitch between the maps, and while the save glitch happens, you have this offset, which is the same distance as this. It just happens to work out. And I can show you that. It's so unbelievably cool. So if we look at this above, the top left is where they're going to shoot the portal. Like if I just press play, they've shot the portal, they're there. That's like how they got that shot. With like the save, this is like the save glitch sort of like camera view. This line here is like the same length as this line here. Now, this might seem like impossible to do like routing for, but the very, very convenient thing here is that the portal is very much based on this blue one here. So if you rotate this blue portal, it's going to change where that top left offset is. So you can rotate this portal like 360. There's like so many angles that you can pick. When you're doing that, you're going to have like this big circle. So you just have to keep sort of rotating the portal until this distance just lines up with where you want it to. So it's a matter of just finding this placement here. And then with this placement, you're like, cool, I have this distance. How much do I rotate this portal until it gets me here? Which is so cool. So that setup was done on the previous map. They like chose like the right angle for blue to make sure that like when the map immediately loads, they could just shoot straight away because the offset would already be correct based on these distances. Very, very neat. Yeah. So this is what's happening here. Animation cancel, save glitch shot, and then you're under the map. And then like if we're counting portal shots, these are way less. Literally every single one of these levels, I think is like saving like half a second. So like if I play this one, left side is wasting so much time because they had to come out of the elevator. Right side's like already done. So for like this particular map for chamber 15, it was 134 ticks, which is like 2 seconds. About 79 of those ticks is just the elevator opening. For this next map, they're both going to be under the elevator. The left side has to shoot 3 portals to get under, where this one, I believe you only have to shoot 2. So you shoot blue, you shoot orange, and then you're done. So it's just 1. It's just 1 less. And then this saved 28 ticks. Yeah. Why is it only 28? If you save on portal shot, there should be around like 34 ticks of time save. I don't know where that comes from. Oh, also, old one doesn't do timing. Portal travel time? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it is a pretty far distance. Yeah, now that you mention it, that is like really far. But yeah, it's still a lot of time. Low time save, which is so sick. Do I have a comparison for this? I think I do. This comparison is really fun to look at once it like loads. Here it is. So yeah, that's the less than half a second difference between these. They both have their own method of getting under the elevator, but like that's the game, man. It's just how fast can you get there? And we're doing it in 1 less portal shot. It's crazy if you watch both TASs side by side because you're like, no, I get it. They get under the elevator. But the reason they get under the elevator here are just completely different methods. So yeah, so that's that one. Cool. Things get a little bit more normal now, I would say. So let's play this. So here they're going to do a save glitch called Rubby. It already happened. Remember, every single portal box has like its own environment. So it has like its own portal box. Save glitch at an essence is you were inside the box before you saved, and then when you saved and reloaded, you were outside the box. Entities can push you during a load. So this camera here, you get it to push you, and now you save glitched. So they save loaded there. They now have save glitch. We only want it for the collision. What do you even call it? You just want to make it so you can walk through any of the collision. So all of this is not solid for us. This here's a glitch called camera fly. If you hold the camera at a right angle and you walk on it, your player kind of gets stuck in like the hitboxes of it, and then it launches you. And it turns out the end elevator is just there. The very neat thing about this is you can do movements before your portal gun reloads, so you're already flying to the next map. And then it's just a matter of catching yourself. If you're next to a portal, it cancels save glitch. So that's really neat as well. If you look at this side by side, you can see that like you're already flying here, you're flying, okay. And then here, they've landed. the other TASs only shot one portal. Also, thank you for telling me about E. That's like so much more helpful. So yeah, let me restart this. So yeah, you can see this here. So the launch already happened. Left TAS shot one portal by the time this portal landed. So it should be like a second faster because it like saves 2 portal shots. If I'm counting right. Yeah, it saves 2 portal shots. So overall, this was like 49 ticks saved. There is like some travel time. Cool. And then this is just like route differences. They're going to do a very similar setup on the right here. The idea is you want to lose collision with the game again. So you do say glitch here. We call this rubby because you're rubbing up against the camera. So you do rubby with lost collision with the world. You do a little camera fly to get up here. And the whole point of this is so that you can get like a really good angle on this shot here, which is at the end of the map. This is the second level where the elevator only takes 7 seconds, but you have to wait for the dialogue. So right now there's dialogue playing. The map's not going to end until she stops talking. So you have so much set up now. Once she stops talking, you jump here. That's what triggers the end of the level. And then this elevator takes 7 seconds. It's one of the 2 elevators that takes 7 seconds. And then this is set up for like another trick. Okay, let me show you. Oh, that is not portal. Let me show you why that's like so obscenely fast. Oh, can I close this? Yeah, sweet. Ch02 Trace. Oh, I do want to have a look at this because this is pretty neat. This was the launch in the previous map. Oh my god, where is it? Oh wait, maybe my scripts are wrong. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, this was 16. Elevators moving. Remember, they do the camera launch here. And then this is the camera fly. So you can see this is kind of like what the hitboxes look like. But it kind of just like glides you. And then this happens. Crouching makes you go faster. You catch yourself. It's very neat. Very cool. If I was to load up 17, you would see it's here. These elevators are just like so close together. So yeah. I'm lost. SVT. What is that? Draw map overlay. Okay. Oops, sorry. Yeah, so it's this launch here. Boom. So cool. So cool. Alright, let me show you 18. Oh my god, we're almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. Oh my god, what's my command? Execute? Trace 18. Guess this one. Okay, so here's what's going on, right? You're on the outside of the map. You can see this shot here. You want to shoot a portal, so it lands like all the way over here. It's a pretty long travel time. The idea is we can shoot it literally here. So blue goes here. You do a PQR to re-enter yourself into the map based on the corner. And then you see this dialog box here. This is the box we're trying to touch. So you touch that, and then you're on like a level timer. Okay? So that's like where that comes from. Now, if I... Oh, hopefully this doesn't crash it. Let me see if I can do it. Let me load up both TASs, because I can just like show you this. Okay, I think that's loaded. Okay, so that's the difference between re-entries there, between both TASs. This is so subtle. Let me play it in slow-mo. But, yeah, okay, that's playing. I think it's playing. Okay, any moment now. Any moment now, we're gonna... Okay, so you see that they popped up, and then blue has touched the trigger now. So blue's touched the trigger, but orange popped up over here, which is a lot further away from the trigger. So they have to travel further, which is actually just like one of like the new improvements. I'm trying to go back. Whoa. Oh, that's really bad to hit. Why do I have that bind? I think I have to do third person. Okay, great. Oh my god, I accidentally put myself in ortho, like cam ortho. Yeah, so 100? Dude, I'm trying like so hard to like run all these at the same time. Yeah, yeah. So you can see the difference there. They pop up at similar times, but orange has to travel further. So that's like a brand new improvement over previous TAS. Let me show you why that is. It's very subtle, but it's just like different setups. So if you're looking at the left one here, left one exited elevator but did a seam shot here. And that seam shot angle is actually just really harsh. It's the angle that's here. So they're standing inside of a portal here with the idea of shooting there. And that's why it lands so far to the left here, when really the trigger that you want to hit is like the one on the right here. But like there's no better angle. But the new TAS can just like walk out and actually just like see that angle and then like have it closer. Also, there's an ordering thing going on here. This travel time here is actually like really, really far. Okay. The other TAS would be shooting it from here, but it's still really, really far. You gotta wait for the portal to land. So what you'd like to do is you'd like to shoot the further portal first, like say you shoot blue, and then you would want to shoot orange like next to you. Okay, you want to make sure you do it in the correct order, because that way you're actually wasting the travel time with like that overlap. So if this travel time takes like 0.7 seconds, you would shoot it, and then there would be like a 0.5 second delay for your portal gun to reload. Then you shoot the other portal. This is still traveling, but then you gotta wait till your portal gun reloads again so you can re-enter, and this is already landed by the time where you're reloading some, which is like really neat. The problem with like the TAS, like the old TAS, if VLC can play it, was they had to shoot the close portal first, and then they had to shoot the far portal. So now this portal's just traveling. So the overlap is wrong. It's actually just wasting time for a different reason. Where if you look at the right TAS here, which is the new one, you shoot the further portal first, then you shoot the close portal, and then by the time it's landed, your gun's already reloaded. So the gun's just reloaded, and then they can instantly do it. So there's like no waiting time here, really. There might be minimal, but the one on the left has way more waiting time because of that. And so it's an angle thing, but they're also shooting the same number of portals. They're both shooting 3 portals, but one of them does it in like a more clever way. Like you can count it here, it's like 1, 2, and then 3. But that third portal shot is differently offset. So it's literally that gap distance plus better overlaps, which is so cool. I actually really like that. Overall, that saves 75 ticks, which is like 1.1 seconds, which is way more than like a portal shot. A portal shot's like 34 ticks. Hey, Tel, what's up? So yeah, 18's like one of like the coolest like routes there, in my opinion. But like it's like such like a minor optimization. Oh yeah, and then once you're under the elevator, they're lining up another portal map overlay thing here. I could probably show you this. I'm really scared one of my games is gonna crash because I accidentally put it in cam ortho and I don't want to restart it. Let me see if I can do this. Oh yeah, we can do it here. Okay, SPT, draw map overlay, test chamber 15. Okay, so this map is really big, but so is the next map. So I'll see if I can find where chamber 19 starts. It starts here. This is where it starts. Okay, and then you gotta go all the way to this part here. Now, conveniently, Chamber 18 is also a big map, but it's a big map in the opposite way. So, like, you start here in Chamber 18, and then you go up here. In Chamber 19, you start here, and then you end here. So the, like, mirrored overlap in a way that's, like, super nice, where you could do the traveling portal glitch thing again. So if you just shoot here, like on this wall here, the end of the next map is there. It's, like, very, very close. So if I play 19... you can see that's this here, and then that's the end over there. So let me do trace 19. So you're gonna see this portal open up any moment now. Oh, what happened? Wait, I don't know if it's playing. SBT, Trace? Oh yeah, no, it is playing. There's a lot of delay going on here. Is what it is. It'll eventually happen. Okay, there it is. There it is. So yeah, when the map loads, it's gonna open this up here, and then you just come out, and then you shoot blue here, and then that will trigger the next map. The trigger for these escape maps is right here. As long as you touch like this box like here, this will load the next sort of section of the map. So that's like what we're going for here. So if we watch this, this is like that little shot there for the traveling warp. The map is loaded now. You have a camera under the elevator. The whole point of the camera under the elevator is to animation cancel. You have animation canceled, you shot to the end here, and then you're on to the next map. Now, I'll just play these all in a row. This is Escape 0, Escape 1, and Escape 2. They just happen. So similar idea, you're just shooting to the ends of the map. There's no longer any elevators. It's just, can you get to the end, hit the trigger, the next map will load like immediately. So it's like really, really fast. Now, another thing that's going on here, we have the camera here. We want to make sure that like we actually like keep like this camera. So when you go through this portal here, they did a bunch of like save loading here. Did you do the save loading to keep the portal open for longer? That's the only reason I could see that you do the save loading, because typically I think it closes like immediately. But if you do additional save loads, it actually just extends the duration of the portal being open before it closes. So I think they did like 18 to like 20 save loads here. There was like a bunch. You can check the demos for it. They did a bunch. They shoot blue there. Now this is a really neat trick here. You grab the camera. Camera's on the opposite side of the portal. When you load the next map, the camera will teleport with you and will also be there. They drop the camera in the geometry with the idea of doing an animation cancel. So when this map's happening, so you've skipped the 1 second portal gun reload speed. When you go to do the next map here, you just re-grab the camera again. So you grab the camera that was like right next to you here. It's like so hard to see, but the camera was still there. You just grab it. Let me go back. I'll show you in engine as well, but you can see the camera is currently above them. Okay. And then they drop the camera again, which saves an extra half a second here because it just lets you shoot the portal. And then that's the last time that an animation cancel's done. And so this is another map reload once they walk through here. You have to wait a full second here for the gun to reload. That's why there's a lot of waiting there. But for the most part, it's like super fast. Okay. And then let me turn off so much of this. SVT, draw, map, overlay, 0. Okay, and then where are we? Play, and then can I reset the demo? Where am I? Okay. I don't... Wait, which one is it? Sorry, I have two versions of Portal open at the same time, so I'm trying to like manage them. Alright, sweet. Yeah, so you can see here, this is where they grab the camera. They do this, and then they're like over here. And then the camera's just like stuck in the floor here. Yeah, there. SPT Trace Draw. No. Draw Trace. Oh, what is it? I thought this trace went on more. What's SPT? Command line? It's we got a plugin that does like all these like visualizations and tools. It's also used for TASing. I don't have traces for E00, E01? I thought you did. Maybe you don't. Oh well, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Yeah, let me show you some comparisons. I got comparisons anyway. Where do we even like start these comparisons? So this is 18. This is old TAS versus new TAS. So yeah, we know that the shot overlay is a thing. Both of them have triggered the ending now. They both want to set themselves up for the next map. Old TAS wants to be on top of the level. Both of them need to trigger the elevator underneath. There's like only like a second difference here. The camera on the left is the animation cancel, but it's going to be reserved in. You can see that's like kind of the difference there. And then when it comes into 19, you can see that the left side's already done because of the travel walk. It is so unbelievably fast, like compared to the old TAS. Like the old TAS has to do so many portal shots to get to the end, and it's a really far way to travel as well. So there's portal travel time. There's a bunch of portal shots where the other one only does like one portal shot and then also keeps the camera. They both keep the camera. There's a camera reserve here. So that's the same for both of them. This one here is really nice as well. So if I go frame by frame, right side has free out of bounds movement now. So you can move in such a way where you get a better angle here. This is an angle that you couldn't really hit that much. There's actually another angle. I don't know whether they tested this, but if you walk up here, you can actually shoot in between these two. It's not better, but they shoot on the left side here, where old TAS has to shoot all the way to the left here. Shooting to the left here is just a bigger angle. It is just what it is. So you can see this here. This is a longer distance. So instead of shooting straight like this, old TAS is doing this. It's just more travel time. So they're minimizing that. So you can see that the right side gets through quicker than left side, and then it's done because of that. And then eventually that's going to happen there. Now, one thing here, there's no camera for this one. That if we have a look at new TAS, they had the camera right at the start here. So you can see the camera's here. So they get an animation cancel here, even though that these two are the exact same portal shots. The reason they pause in midair is Inf Sens. But yeah, they're just ahead by half a second because of the animation cancel. And then they're in the end. I have some neat horse racing comparisons for this. So this is what 19 looks like. Done. And then we're waiting. And you could have seen the flicker there for like a little bit. It's very subtle. You'll see orange like come out. But yeah, it's not that long. Let me reload it again. So yeah, you see blue's already done, then you gotta wait, and then orange is done. So that's that one. If we have a look at what's the other one? Dude, where is it? Here it is. So that's the difference the animation cancel makes. We're effectively just going there. There's also some travel time that the old TAS has to do. This is a new one. You see blue drops first, but they got to do an animation cancel, so it's like the same idea. Alright, last map. It's so sick. Alright. When I first watched this, I was like, what is happening? I was like, I was genuinely like stunned. So the idea here is you go to GLaDOS. GLaDOS, typically there's like a whole phase with this. So she'll yap to you a bunch, she'll release a rocket turret. When you shoot her with the rocket turret, she drops one core. You repeat this 4 times. Turns out she can take damage from any source. So you do it with the turret, and then when you do it with the turret, she just drops all the cores instantly. And then you need to wait for her first like intro speech, because she does this whole gag of like, what is that thing? And she's like, I didn't mean to drop that. So you're just trying to get it to that point where she's saying that, and then she drops her last core. So that's like the only scripted core drop, and then it finally falls, incinerates. That's time, okay? But there's a lot that goes into getting a turret into that room in the first place. Because the way that this got in here is so much quicker than what the other TAS does. Like, oh my god, it's like night and day. It's actually wild. So like, if we go like here, this is the old TAS. Okay, oh my god, I'm trying to find like where it starts. Okay, it starts here. So old TAS shoots really far to the right. There's like a travel time, whatever, it kind of gets overlapped with reloads. You get to here, you PQR, there's a turret here, but you gotta wait for these turrets to like fall down. These are portal shots to do a large angle glitch. It's very similar to vertical angle glitch, but it teleports you into GLaDOS's room, and then the turret drops down, and then the fight starts. She won't start talking until that turret's in the room. If you do it any earlier, the turret disappears because they delete all the entities outside the map, and then it's playing the game, and then it goes there. But a lot of that sort of animation waiting for the turret is skipped, and also the travel time skipped. Also, the teleportation setup is like skipped because it's just inbuilt. Like, this is like one of like the coolest routes that like I've ever seen. It's so unbelievably cool. It is fusing together so many different glitches right now. It's like one of like the like coolest like levels. Like I want to show you this. Like, if you were to map out what this looks like, by the way, this is up until like orange portal gun. So this is blue portal gun here. This is this section. They needed to make use of like ISG, Singularity warping. This is like the origin warping here. And then also seam shots. These are like the fastest ways to like teleport and get out of bounds. You also see like another seam shot here. After you get like the orange portal gun from like here to here, it turns into save glitch offset and also vertical angle glitch. So vertical angle glitch just like teleports you across the map. So does like traveling portal wrong warp. So that's like this stuff. There's all the singularity warps as well. But if you look at Ch02, it actually just makes use of every single one of those things. There's like an edge glitch, there's an object teleportation glitch, there's a vertical angle glitch, seam shot, and then also like the singularity warp. It's like all combined in one. It is like so cool because like normally like every other level only like uses like one of them, but this one actually requires all of them to be done for like the setup. It's like I like couldn't believe it. So anyway, let me load it up. So SBT, oh no, I have this execute trace, this one here. Okay, so like what's happening here? We'll break it down one at a time. So you need a turret. Turret's very important. Oh, I can't go fast anymore. This is so sad. Wait, can I fix this? Yeah, no, it's broken. Oh wait, it's kind of fixed now. Okay. Yeah, so you're here. Oh, I fixed it. What the fuck? So you need the turret. This is the closest turret here. It's just there. You shoot a portal underneath it with the idea that when you walk through blue here, you're gonna start coming out orange. Your corners are in bounds. You just need blue to land anywhere. If you shoot blue anywhere, once oh sorry, I got the colors backwards. This is orange. Orange is on the outside of the map. if you shoot orange anywhere, once orange disappears, it's going to bring you back in bounds. You have the turret. And then with that turret, there's a setup. There's a setup here. They do a vertical angle glitch on this orange portal to then warp themselves all the way over here. It's a very, very long distance. Okay? And as long as the turret's on the other side of the portal, you're going to get an object teleportation glitch. The turret will come with you. So the question is, with like vertical angle glitch, you need to come up with the line to actually make that happen anyway. So let me fly up really, really high here. Whoops. Yeah, let me do a bit of that. Okay, and then if we do SPT fog, wait, no, it's fog override 1. Oh my god, how do you disable the fog? Oh my god, I wish I didn't look at that. Okay, clear, line fog, fog. I think you can just do enable 0. And if I look back down, okay, we can see the map now. Okay, cool. So this is the map, right? We started here. The vertical angle glitch happened here. This vertical angle glitch needs to get you all the way here. So you need to put the other portal kind of in the opposite direction of that. And the opposite direction of that is over here. These are like the same distance. This is the parking lot over here. So the parking lot is like the ending cutscene that you see in like after you beat the game. But the thing is they just move like a virtual camera, like through the level to simulate the cinematic. You can just like go here. So this is a part in the game. You need to get a portal here, and they actually did get a portal there. So like if we like fly there, oh my god, please get me there. Okay, there we go. You can see the blue portal's here. So that distance over to orange is the same distance as orange all the way to Glados' chamber. But you need to get the portal there in the first place. Now, the funny part about where this lines up is that this here is actually just really close to the origin. If you look at this, like it's 30, 59, 81. So to get to the parking lot, this general vicinity is where the origin is. So you just do a singularity warp. That's all you do. And then like that like gets you there, which is like crazy. So they do that for a very brief moment when standing next to orange here. So you stand next to orange here, you singularity warp to get to the parking lot, you shoot blue, and then when you walk through the portal here, you get like the vertical angle glitch, and then like it's good. Now the thing is you need to get like this orange portal here. That orange portal wasn't there before. That orange portal is actually really far away, because remember, you start the level here. So it turns out they just use a seam shot here. There's a little edge here, but you can just shoot through this gap and have orange land over there. So from the very start of the level, you get the turret, so you shoot orange over there. When you PQRing, you do a seam shot so the orange portal lands on that wall over there. As you're re-entering here, you grab the turret, and then when you're on the orange side, you singularity warp over there, so you can kind of see where that box is. I don't know if I can like zoom in on that. I don't know if it's going to let me. No, it's not going to let me. Okay, it doesn't matter. But yeah, you singularity warp over there, and then the blue portal's placed there. You do the vertical angle glitch, and then you're over here. That's basically that like whole route. Kind of insane, really. Cool. And then I wish I could fly. Dude, I hit the one bind that like did like cam ortho. So it kind of like broke a lot of my stuff. The only way to fix it is like to close the game. Okay, so you're here. This is all just core routing now. So they get the turret to shoot Glados. You can kind of see all the cores like fall off. when they go through the portal here, they chuck the turret in such a way that it lands. So it's still alive, but it can still see GLaDOS and you. During that, you grab the core, and you're just collecting all the cores. They're going to get this one up in the air here in a moment. So let me just like fast forward that. And then they land in the midair here. This is just infinite strafing. So this just pauses you in midair. This is a very, very good angle for all the shots to like hit GLaDOS. And then that like damages her. We call this like a dialogue skip. Reason being is every single time she takes damage, she goes like, and then she like goes slower again. So you can listen to it here. So yeah, that's that whole setup. That was the Singularity warp you're in. So you hear that, you'll hear this like over and over again.
And we'll just call it.
So every single time you do that, you save half a second. I did a bunch of like testing for this. There's I don't have the spreadsheet on me right now. I'd have to like find it. But there's like a multiplier with how she speeds up her pitch. So it'll be like it would be like 2x, and then it'll be like 1.75, so on. It'll be 1.0, and then she gets like really slow. It goes like 1.8, and then she goes back up to like 1.0 again. On average, she talks faster more than she talks slower. And that always comes out to roughly like 0.51. She is then invincible for like 300 ticks. You just can't shoot her again for the 300 ticks. So you want to try and get in as many of these shots as you can during all that. The theoretical maximum for it is 7. This TAS gets 5. There's still a lot of testing and routing that can be done here. The older TAS does 6, but this one's quicker than the older TAS. So there's like weird dialogue stuff going on. The main part is every single time you shoot GLaDOS, you do save time, but you need to be a little bit careful because there's ways to lose time on like the very last core drop. So when you incinerate a core there, that also counts as damage. So she'll speed up her dialogue. You want the dialogue to speed up as she's dropping this core. Because if she starts like talking slower, that core will actually get delayed. So there's a lot of sequencing that goes on there. But yeah, and then that's the run. And that's finished in 4 minutes and 33 seconds, which is absolutely incredible. This is just like a guest segment now. This is Juxpa. I think Evelyn worked out that you can draw in like the GL clear zones. And then there's like ways to just like import any image. So you just keep moving your mouse very quickly in a way to just draw any image. So that's what Juxpa did. This is like the skybox. There's a lot of flavor here. The run's already over. There's like nothing else to like see here. Now, one of the more interesting sort of like trivia parts of this run is that the ending cutscene where they have like that whole like skybox area, that's a known location on the East Coast of America. So it's like, it's not too far away from California, and Uncrafted's around that area. So he didn't quite go to the same spot, but he went to a region somewhat like similar looking. And this is Uncrafted, man. He made a lot of the visualization tools that I was using. He was the guy that had the vertical angle glitch animation stuff. And then, yeah, I mean, this guest segment was like so sick. Very, very cool. So yeah, sweet. I hope you enjoyed that. So the video transition's so good. Yeah, I mean, Evelyn did such a good job of editing. Uncrafted did that like IRL segment. Dude, Chamber 10! There it is. So yeah, that was like 3-hour stream, more like 2-hour yap to like explain it all. But it's a very, very good run. I was like super excited about it, like when it came out. Yeah, then Juxpa got like the foot segment here. So yeah, it's just like this little box that's like out of bounds. Very, very cool. Now, this part here, the little portal gun overlay thing. Dude, it's me! I'm there! Dude, I have no business being, like, recommended or, like, attributed in this run. But I'm there, dude. Oh my god. When I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I was, like, talking to my friend about it. Because I was, like, showing them in terms of, like, what you call it? Just trying to, like, prep for the stream. If we're being real, guys, my contribution is so little. I did nothing for this run. I want you to know, all I did, it was so subtle. All I did was I put the portal gun here. That's all I did. Making it so this portal gun wobbles. And you can see it. That's my like masking technique. That's it. That's the thing. And then Uncrafted like tweaked it a little bit. Uncrafted did everything else, so I don't know. Yeah, if we look at the very end, the very end, I have some comparisons here. This comparison is insanely hard to like make sense of. But what I want you to realize, blue is the new TAS, orange is the old one. If we keep an eye on blue, blue's gonna enter in the turret room. You're gonna see blue flash between this part here and this part here. Okay, so you can see blue singularity warps over here, lands here. Vertical angle glitch is in the GLaDOS room. Meanwhile, old TAS is still setting up the GLaDOS room. And then this jump here is going to bring you out of this wall over here, and you're going to see it flash for a moment here. Yeah, that flash put them in GLaDOS room. So it's very different speeds for when the GLaDOS room happens. So GLaDOS room happened there. GLaDOS room happened now. So that's like the big key difference between those two runs. And then this is what the ending looks like. You're going to see the new run pop up here. So that's the teleport. The other one pops up over here. And then these are all of the core routings that, I mean, blue just entered in like so much quicker. So that's why the run's going to end a lot quicker. Absolutely insane route. The Ch02 route is like one of my favorites, as well as like Ch04. Blue is done, and then orange is done. And that is the TAS. 10 years in the making. So sick. So sick, man. I hope you enjoyed that. I tend to yap way too much, but I hope the commentary was interesting. I hope you took some stuff away from that. Please watch Lacune's and Evelyn's commentary as well. They did a 2-hour commentary. I just wanted to talk about like how cool some of the tricks were and compare it to like the old TAS. I think some of the old TAS comparisons are neat. I'll make some more comparisons at some point. I want to make more of these. This one, oh my god, I shouldn't have made this. Oh my god, guys. This clip here is 12 seconds. I spent the majority of my Saturday making this. I couldn't believe it. Oh my god, I spent like several hours making this. Just for that. So cool. Maybe 7 years ago. Now, here's the kicker, right? I kind of just want to watch the TAS back in like full now, because there was a lot of pausing, but it's only a 4-minute 33 run. Like, we can just watch it. So, have you seen the melt TAS? Yeah, I have. 2036 TAS will be perfect. Here's the thing, right? In preparation of all this stuff, I went to bed, woke up, immediately thought of like a reroute. Next TAS, whoever makes it, you should consult me. I have strats. I just don't know how to TAS. Maybe I'll work on the next TAS. Maybe that's what will happen. Dude, I should just learn how to TAS. It'll be like a fun collaboration project. Anyway, let's watch it. So yeah, ISG, reload, clipping, ISG upwarp, love it. 14 seconds, elevator, love to see it. I have like skimmed over some of like the minute details. Like here we have 10th anniversary as movement keys. But yeah, there's like other optimizations that are like very brief that maybe I didn't speak on, but I'm sure it's in the commentary, like the other commentary. We already missed like so much. The radio flew out of bounds. There's the ISG setup that's about to happen now. All right, so now we have an ISG. Throw the radio to ricochet into crouch trigger. There's the Singularity warp. After catching yourself with Infinite Sense, this is setup. We're doing setup now. Okay, the seam shot, this is setup. We're waiting for Glados to finish yapping. All right, so there's like nothing you can do here. So when was that found? Yeah, May 2025. Yeah, okay. Same thing here. You're going to see this frame flicker. This is going to load back into Ch02. This is ISG. With the idea of being able to do the upwarp, you need ISG for the upwarp. PQR, right? And then this is Infinite Sense here to get full speed with the camera, right? Saves 8 ticks. Worth it. It's worth it. Unfortunately, you need to stay in the elevator for 14 seconds here. Now, if you can end this map outside the elevator, you would automatically save 80 ticks. Just say. Just say. There's ideas. Seam shot there into vertical wrong warp. With save glitch to get the chair. The chair's being retrieved. But you need to get on top of the map. This is falling save glitch. Portal shot under the elevator with the idea of preserving save glitch here. So we skip getting save glitch later. You do the SPD launch. This is a shorter portal line. We've already activated the end. The 14-second countdown starts now. Get the portal gun. Edge glitches to out of bounds. We need the camera for the animation cancel here. Animation cancel gonna happen. Save half a second. 2 portal shots, save a second. Vertical angle glitch to the end. That's a clipping glitch. Falling save glitch. Then the elevator's going up 7 seconds until the end of the map now. We're in save glitch state. We're gonna do the traveling portal warp. And then that put you into the end. Singularity warp. Already finished the map. We're gonna get the cube now. There was the Inf Sens fucking out of bounds there. Okay, we're back under the map. Got the cube for the idea of the animation cancel for this traveling portal warp with the save glitch there. We also did the animation cancel and then you singularity warp so we can get like out of here for this setup. Now we're gonna wait another 7 seconds for the map transition. The camera's under the elevator. That's another map warp with save glitch. Okay, do you know what's happening here? Save glitch shot under the elevator. That's a rubby to put yourself back into save glitch so you can camera fly. Okay? And then this here, you got no collision so you can catch yourself. Here's the thing, man. Okay? That's another rubby. We're in save glitch again, no collision with the world. Camera fly up with the idea that when we look up and to the left, we have a better angle so we can look closer at the like transition trigger. Portal ordering swapped there as well. To get rid of like the travel delay. Whatever, the map's already ended. There's dialogue here. This is set up. You gotta wait till Glados finishes yapping now. This is the second chamber without like instant elevator. Okay, it's triggered. You got 17 seconds to line this up. That's going to be lining up to the end of 19. But we need the camera for the double animation cancel. So animation cancel here, preserve, animation cancel, shoot to the end, another animation cancel, and then Inf Sens to catch yourself. We're on the last map now, so like 3 maps went by. Did like the PQR seam shot, singularity warp, fucking vertical angle glitch. Turret shooting Glados now. Oh, it's so cool, man. It's so cool. Inf Sens to pause yourself in midair so you can get another dialogue skip. Oh my god. I didn't even talk about the edge glitch here. There's a portal under the map for the incinerator, and then like, yeah, when you put the cores in, they incinerate really quick, and then that's the run. And then like, out of like all of the stuff I explained, you know, like there's like minor details that like I never talked about in this run because like, I could just go on about it forever, but like, there's like such a minor time save right here that both TASs do that like you'll never see an RTA runner do. So like, the core spawns above you here. But the idea is if you press E and look down, it's quicker than gravity. And this was like a trick I like found like back in the day. So like literally, like I don't even know if you can see the core. I'm going back frames. Can you even see the core? I don't even know if you can. When does this happen? Yeah, it'd be like here. Okay, so portal opened, and then where is it? I don't even see it there. Does it happen? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you see, there's a grab that happens here. There's very minor details like that. But that pulls it down quicker than gravity can, so that's fun. We love that. We love that so much. Yeah, that's a run. It's a run in 4 minutes 43, so it's very cool. Sometimes, like, I feel very out of the loop. But yeah, thanks for the stream. No worries. All right, I think I'm gone now. I think I'm gone. I think I'm going. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you all around. Bye-bye. Take care of yourselves. Back to normal streams. Thank you. All good, all good. Yeah, next week we'll probably do a Portal Horse Race. I've been trying to do them on the weekends, so yeah. See you in 10 years when I explain the next one. Oh my god, imagine. Imagine. I'm gonna be so old now. What the hell are you? Alright. New generation, you have so many resources. That's it. Anyway, bye.